Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dragonblade Arena League 6v6 edition. My name is Slevin, your play-by-play caster this evening, and I would like to welcome my co-caster and game analyst, Simply Nickish. How are we feeling today, Nick?
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Back again with KTN for some great games. So yeah, very, very excited, as I'm sure you guys are as well. And tonight, we're in for an epic showdown of some of the most skilled players across the kit community. And the competition is going to be pretty tough. So they're going to need to be at their best if they want to come out on top for this Dragonblade Arena League 6v6. Now, whether you're here to support your favorite players, learn some new strats, or just enjoy the show, there's no better place to be right now than KTN. But before we dive into the action, Slevin, how can our community members get involved in KTN tournament?
Oh, lots of different ways. First and foremost, join the Discord. And for everybody else interested in participating in future tournaments, leagues, be sure to head over to our website, kicktournamentnetwork.com. There you can find all of our socials, the event scoreboard, and upcoming tournaments. KTN is a community-driven organization, and we want to see players like you join us in our upcoming events. We currently host tournaments for a wide range of games, so head on over to our website, check out the games we support, and make sure to vote in our Discord polls so that you can play in an event that interests you. I do want to highlight that anybody is allowed to play in our events. We do not have MMR caps, do not be a Grandmaster, you do not need to be in bronze. Just find an event that you like and sign up for it. Now let's discuss today's event itself. So the maps in tonight's tournament, we have pre-selected 9 of our most popular Overwatch maps, and there will be 3 available per game mode that will be voted on by our competitors tonight as they progress through their matchups. The first map is going to be the control game mode, and that will be decided by a coin toss. The second map for the hybrid game mode is going to be decided by the losing team of the first map. For our tiebreaker, if we go to a tiebreaker, it will be done in a flashpoint game mode, and that will also be voted on by the loser of the second map. Our teams tonight are going to put their skills to the test in a single elimination league. They will fight for survival and strive to take the top spot and be crowned tonight's victor. Nick, can you give us just a little more information on what we can expect to see with some of these maps?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, I will not be getting pigtails, by the way. But for Lijiang Tower, I think this is the one I want to see most from the control maps, specifically for one reason and one reason only. The cat! The cat! Lijiang Tower is such a great map for the Jetpack Kitty, so definitely looking forward to some shenanigans on that one. For the hybrids, I'm always a fan of the old classics, a little bit of King's Row, you know. There's very kind of brawl, front to back heavy kind of map. These long lanes down the middle past the first point. Lots of Rhine. I want to see some great Rhine action. We've had that in some previous tournaments that we've personally loved, particularly on King's Row. So looking forward to that one. And I also kind of would like to see the new map Atlas and see what they can show us on this new map with all the new heroes.
Yeah,
so
looking forward
with
to some
that
of
in mind,
new stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 5 new heroes to play with for this one, so looking forward to seeing them in action. But how is this event going to be scored?
Yeah, so scoring in the Dragonblade Arena League is based on the integrated systems of the game modes Control, Hybrid, and Flashpoint. Teams earn points through a match format where they compete in a series of 3 maps. Each map win contributes to a team's overall score. A team must score 2 points in order to be declared the winner of that matchup. In case that was confusing, it's the best 2 out of 3. Nick, are there any returning players that you look forward to watching compete tonight? I know we've got some people coming back, or any newcomers that are on your radar.
We do. So we've got a little mix of both, but we've got the Hotties coming back to us, for those of you who may have seen previous tournaments with KTN, and High Anxiety. And I did promise that I would glaze a certain Mercy player. So call out Midnight Muse over there, going to give us some great Mercy gameplay. And Bard. We've looked forward to watching Bard quite a few times in these series, so definitely looking forward to seeing Bard back in action as well. So yeah, and we've got a couple of new teams as well in this one that we've not seen yet, which I believe are coming over from Valorant. I might be wrong on that, so if I am, I apologize. But Team Pengus, I believe, is a new set of players, so look forward to seeing them in action.
Yeah, always fun to see new people come out and play. And I watched a couple casual, I don't know, practice games, I guess, the other night. And as you were, blazing Midnight Muse over there, she was an absolute menace on Mercy in those casual games. So as a former Cassidy main, Pocket Mercies were kind of the bane of my existence, and I would have hated her playing against it. So hopefully everybody take heed and keep her out of the air. All right, because otherwise it is going to be tough. It is going to be tough for sure.
So let's, I guess, while we, I guess before we get into the first matchup, should we talk about the new heroes? Just a little smidgen.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe what we're going to expect.
Yeah, let's go through a little.
I love Domina. The new poke tank is so good. So I'm really hoping that they bring that to the table, especially if we go to some of the maps. We talked about King's Row, this kind of like front to back as well. I would love to see some Domina on that map particularly. And even, even across the board, she's such a strong staple frontline and can work into kind of a lot of different strats as well, just to be this very stalwart frontside hero with a crazy ultimate.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if she runs up against, like Hazard gets a lot of play these days too, right? And Hazard can kind of counter Domina a little bit going into it. So we'll see if how people pick with these new heroes. I do want to see a lot of new hero action because they dropped 5 on us all at the same time. And let's get out of our comfort zone a little bit and play something new and exciting.
And already, I am going to be biased here and be voting for Chaotic Den because look at who was banned from Pengus. There's unacceptable behavior. Banning the cat.
Yeah, the Pengus is they're on my naughty list now. They are they are done. We are finished
100%.
with Pengus. We have broken up. That's crazy.
And just to note, the other ban that we don't see, but the other ban was Vendetta, which is very, very valid. This hero has been an absolute menace in these backlines. As we get into game number 1.
Our first team fight already taking place here as Lalo pushing in with the Orisa. We've got both teams on point, direct to point, not spending a lot of time out in the courtyard there. We get our first few eliminations here, and it looks like Chaotic Den taking the early lead here, going to be able to take this point and get some points on the board. I said points a lot right there.
And it should be noted, just for all of you watching, there is a slight bug in the kill feed. So sometimes the colors might be mixed up between the teams. We are going to try and keep on top of that for you and keep it rolling so you know what's happening. But just be aware of that. There might be some confusion in the kill feed. It's a spectator bug with Overwatch.
Yeah, we will do our best to not make the wrong call outs here, but please bear with us as well. Big fist by Brian as he jumps right into the thick of it, able to back away and get behind that shield, get some heals. But Weak for Cheeks goes down. Unfortunately, that is going to give Pengus the upper hand when they push into this point. See if Chaotic Den can hold it down. Zelos being backed off. That Doomfist not relenting at all, gets the elimination, picks up the health pack, moving back onto point to help out the teammate. However, we did lose Pepper and by Chaotic Den as well, and I think Pengus is going to be able to hold this one down.
Yeah, I love this duo combination here of the Rhine and this Doomfist. It adds so much, this Rhine can just sit in this front on this point and be just this shield nuisance that you can't get past. And all the while, this Doom can take these 1v1s on the side, catch people out of position, as we saw there, trying to catch out that Bastion. And we've got some ults to work with, so look out for Waffle here on the Pharah. But already the picks coming thick and fast. And Bryn on this Doomfist is a menace. Goodness gracious.
Racking him up there. Picked up 3 or 4 eliminations. Diva able to get away by the skin of her teeth. Yeah, that was nuts. I mean, like you were saying, having these 2 different tanks, the one that can kind of play outside of the bounds a little bit, and then Reinhardt to just be the anchor for the team there in the center, plays really, really well. But you have to be able to trust your off tank to go out and do stuff, not overextend and get caught out. Bryn chasing down WX. I have no idea how to say that name. And getting the elimination. The early elimination. I'm going to put Waffle. Okay.
I'm going with Waffle. As we see the hammer down goes, gets one. It's a great anti over the back of it as well. Zelos and Dirk both go down, and Shell Bebop, these tank duo for Chaotic Den, are making this really difficult for them to get anywhere near the point.
Yeah, lots of good forward defense here. They're not playing on point, and then well, I guess some rave shielding there by Bebop there. But yeah, no, they're playing very aggressive defense here and just holding them back in their spawn. And this is what you got to do if you think that you have the coordination and the skill to be able to do it and not let somebody get through. Waffle tries to get through to the point, not able to get there. That first round is going to go to Chaotic Den.
Yeah, I respect the attempt from the Pharaoh. I mean, you've got to try something at that point. But yeah, just got the early advantage on the point, got that first team fight, and then it was really difficult for them to try and get through this double front line. And big shout out to Pepper and Akami here, keeping those tanks up and allowing them to do that.
Yeah, big supports, and then you don't want to glaze too hard here, but Bryn on that Doomfist played a lot of kind of solo going after the health packs. You know, that's map knowledge that's important to know, and it's important for your healers to know that they don't have to chase you when you're going out there and chasing those kind of off eliminations. And so good job on Bryn for having that awareness.
I think the thing about Doomfist as well, particularly, is you know, it's very easy to tell a very good Doomfist because of the way that you can min-max that hero and their abilities. And we saw some really nice movement mechanics there from Bryn as well, getting themselves up to the high ground, picking off that Pharah, and just knowing when and where to find these off angles and where they're going to be wanting to play from. So just really good game knowledge as well from Bryn.
Yeah, big heads up plays here. He hasn't fallen off the map yet, so see if they can keep that streak alive going into round 2 here. Looks like no big crazy teammate switches or hero switches here. It looks like they're going to keep the comps pretty similar here. And immediately that first fight happening on point. It does look like Chaotic Den going to take a little bit of ground advantage on the point. Ooh, nice shot by Bryn there. Knocking him back a little bit. Layla goes down. Waffle goes down. Derek goes down. Chaotic taking no prisoners on this first battle here. Zelos doing everything they can to get a couple of damage out there. Gets booped right off by Bryn again, who then takes down Moira as well. Nice solid play on that first fight by Chaotic.
Yeah, it should be noted for any of you that are new to KTN, maybe this is your first time here with us watching these tournaments. The fact that no one's fallen off the map already is kind of a miracle. So usually there's at least 2 or 3 that have gone down by now. So just to give you some context as to why we might be pointing that out as there we go.
Caster's curse.
Yes.
The Caster's
W
curse.
observing. Absolutely fantastic stuff as he falls off the map. Thank you, Brady, who's obviously listening to us here already.
Oh, well, we can't break tradition. We gotta fall, I guess. Nice. And then Bebop with a nice long charge coming in there. And then just just the ult,
the fire strike,
the fun out there. The fire strikes, the slam, picks up a few eliminations there. Nice job by Bebop to really push him back after Bryn abandoned ship there.
Yeah, and I think they're just struggling, particularly, you know, the DPS are kind of getting caught out by, you know, this Tracer as well. I'm gonna say Primarch just because for the name, because that's a shop I know, but this Tracer is making it really difficult for the DPS to get anything done and lay any damage down on these frontline tanks. So they're really kind of free. You know, Bryn, you can see here doing it exactly as I'm talking about it. This Ryan just off the back of the Moira packed behind them can just charge forward with really no pressure whatsoever coming out from Zelos or Waffle. And it's just because they're getting caught out by Tracer and Doom.
Yeah, when you have 2 of them working together on the back line and just hitting the squishies, bouncing them around, sowing chaos, basically, it makes it so hard for the enemy supports to figure out who to deal with and who to help. And then if the tanks aren't, you know, like right now, the tanks are moving away from the team a little bit, and the team got held up with another fight, and it's just there's a little bit of chaos on Pengus right now in Chaotic Den, doing what their name is, their namesake, I guess, and sowing all that chaos. So.
And Weak for Cheeks giving us another map fall off as well on the Ash. Put the counter to 2. We're already there, but awesome. Very handed first map from Chaotic Den there. I mean, they weren't really able to contest them at all. They came with a really good idea of what they wanted to do. You know, play this stalwart front line with these flanking angles, and no surprises here. Bryn showing off on this Doomfist, and I'd be pretty surprised if they're allowed to play this for the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, I think Doomfist is going to be a pretty easy ban for the next map coming up here. which will be Pengus's selection. So we'll get that in here pretty soon and see what we're going to move on to the next time. But yeah, lots of good play. Pengus has to come back with an answer and really kind of shut down Chaotic. And, you know, hopefully that Doomfist ban will go a long way for them. And fingers crossed that's what they're going to ban, because I want to see what Bryn can do on a different character, because we know they can handle Doomfist really, really well. So, but big plays, favorite plays from that last round?
Definitely the falling off the map, for sure. The perfectly timed falling. Yeah, absolutely. And as well, because, you know, they banned the cap. So I think that might just be common for banning the jetpack cap, personally. But yeah, we'd definitely like to see, I want to see them try and explore maybe to match these flanks, you know, if they were to play again. Because that's definitely what hurt them. The DPS were just really struggling to get in that game. As we see Ukami here, putting in work on these supports as well. We mentioned it a little bit. They did so well to keep the Doomfist up, to keep the Ryan just sitting there in the front. And yeah, it was a very tough matchup for Pengus. Yeah.
You see, these are the accolades we give. So we got Wolfie picking up the Warlord, means most damage. Bryn with the ult farmer here. Threw out one ult and picked up that award, I guess. I don't know how that one works, but you can see that the damage numbers from Bryn, not insane, but the amount of eliminations are really, really high, and the final blows specifically. So you know that he was really working on the finishers, attacking the people that were down and isolated, and just being unrelenting in that pursuit, and able to do it very, very successfully for his team. So also picking up the kill leader award as well. So maybe Doomfist goes away, and if Doomfist goes away, what does Bryn do? What are we playing? Maybe the rare Winston.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see a win for sure.
You know?
I think any of these kind of dive tanks, you know, I assume it's very kind of, Doomfist is very different, but I would also quite like to see Hazard. I think Hazard is incredibly strong right now in the meta. He's a great tank, and obviously can do both 5v5 and 6v6, but I think it feels a very similar idea in this kind of 6v6 comp. They can have the stalwart tank in this front side and just let them run loose with a Hazard and diving on top of people and slicing them in half. So I definitely think that's what I would be looking for if they choose to ban.
I just like Monkey. You know?
And we are getting King's Row. Yes, we're gonna get some King's Row.
Yep, and there's that Doomfist ban coming in by Pengus, and then Chaotic choosing to ban Bastion. Oh, early picks coming in here. It looks like we're gonna have fairly similar, except for Wolfie going Hanzo here. Zelo's gonna stick on the Soldier, Dirk with Kiriko, and pop in.
I want to talk about this in Chaotic. The Bastion ban is incredibly smart, because because obviously, you know, Shell is running this Rhine, and Bastion is so good at shredding through that, particularly on this defense. And I want to talk about this Mei. We've seen this in previous tournaments that we've cast as well for KTN, and this is exactly what Weak is going to do. They're going to wait for them to jump past, get past this point, and she's hiding in the corner, waiting for them to jump, and then the wall is going to go up and isolate them. And Mei is so good at isolating these tanks right now, and it makes it so difficult to play into. So biding their time, waiting until they just step a little too far, and there goes the wall. Isolated one. That is actually the Soldier 76. Somehow was the one on the other side of that. But Waffle does get the pick.
Yeah, Soldier got Soldier, not Shoulder, got isolated there and was able to get back behind. And actually, Bebop went down during that exchange for Chaotic, which I did not expect to see. So we got Bryn on the hog here. See if we can get some nasty hooks going on. Weak for Cheeks goes down there in this fight. Pengus made a really strong push. That can be a really tough push to do early on, and they are already secured the payload in the first point there.
Yeah, it was a huge first pickup. As soon as you take out Shell on that Rhine, so much of the front side holding goes down. And they just walked in off the back of it and carried on going. And we see a little bit of pushback now. As the antis go down, they get a good couple of picks and they stall out the point moving forward as they've switched to the hog for Bryn.
We got some, he's getting dirty with it too. We got a couple eliminations coming out of Bryn there, and then P-Merc and Pepper picking up a couple as well. Are they going to play this aggressive defense? That's a tough spot to hold right there, because the spawn is so close, and there's a lot of angles that can go into that corner. So we'll see how successful they are. Hopefully they don't overextend for too long here.
Yeah, I'm looking to Waffle here for sure. They need to be the difference maker. You know, Zelos can do a lot of work, try and burn down these shields a little bit, but it's going to be on Waffle to try and get these angles. It's a big shadow, though, on the point as Brymark gets the pulse bomb over the top, kills one. Bryn follows up on that Roadhog, pulls them back. Waffle does get one trade, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to keep the momentum where they want it to be. But it is going to be a longer reset for Chaotic than it is for Pengus, so that does give them the advantage going into this next big fight here. And Bryn just using that heal juice to barely get out of there, and they have to back up just a little bit, see if they can hold it for Bebop to get back in time to make something else happen. These anti-grenades coming out of Pepper right now are really being a thorn in Pengus' side, though.
Yeah, and you know, anti is one of the best tools against the Hog, you know, specifically on the other side, if it was the other side, but it's not. But Hog is very self-sufficient, so this is why I think they work in a 6v6 very well. And there's the picks from Waffle. We talked about this Pharah needing to be the playmaker, and Waffle goes up, gets two, and that is going to allow them to get past this choke point by their spawn and push it down this lane.
Yep. Popped it, and Waffle didn't even have to pop an ult to do that. Zelos popped an ult, and Lalo popped an ult, and that created just enough space for Waffle to get out there and shoot some rockets and make something happen, get that splash damage out there. And then Zelos and Lalo with the contributions on that. So nice little team play there, and they didn't burn all their ults to do it.
Yeah, Waffle's still holding on to that, but look for Weak to drop this tire. This could be a big difference maker if they're not ready for it. As we see the Moira popped in. Here goes the tire. As we see, great fire strike though to take that out. Snapped out the air.
Clutch coming in clutch with the fire strike there, taking that down. Weak goes down. Waffle all of a sudden turning it on, popping off, getting a few eliminations there. Pop the ult as well. Gonna just walk through the shield, force the turn here. Very, very nice plays here by Pengus. Gonna keep Chaotic in, push back a little bit, and I think they should be able to secure this second point here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about it, right? This is a game of ult economy, Overwatch, so often. So if you can win a fight without burning too many ultimates, you automatically are at a better advantage for the following fights. And we saw it in practice and in play there from Waffle, holding on to that and then using it to win the follow-up fight. As we look towards Bryn, nearly got theirs. Pepper not too far away from Nano as well for Chaotic then.
Yeah, it's really nice when you see a team just not burn through all their ults, just like panic ulting, you know, and just cascading off them. It seems like the communication's good. They've really turned it on this map here for this really aggressive push that they've been doing. I mean, they've got tons of time left as this next fight comes in. Bryn gonna pop the ult. They're gonna take down Clutch on Reinhardt and still going nice. There gets another one. But the Dirk goes down, Waffle goes down. Chaotic did putting up a big defense here on the backboard now. And then, Soldier tried to get away. And these hooks are just on point. Bryn absolutely popping off on that play right there.
Have we seen Bryn miss a hook? Have they got magnets on it or something? Yeah. How? This is ridiculous, to be honest. But we look towards Pengus now. They've got 2 minutes 50 on the clock. So it's not all over. There's plenty of time for them to build up to getting some ultimates on the board to try and win out these fights. But already, Waffle, who was going to be one of their playmakers, gone down. Bryn again with another hook to actually hook them off the map as well.
Yeah, hook Diva off the map. That's tough.
Yeah. It must have been in between flight cooldowns to have managed that.
Yeah. Nice heads up plays though, and Pengus just on their heels right now. Chaotic really pushing forward and playing a pretty aggressive defense as that cart slowly makes its way back. And they're using the corners very, very well, and you can see Bryn just hovering over that area where they can throw people off, like not leaving this little doorway. And I love that invisible Moira as well. Yeah, kind of staying on this little platform here and just waiting for it. And then we got two. Zarya's there. There's another hook, and it gets him again. Oh my gosh, Clutch getting dropped off the ledge in the mech twice. That is tough. Weak just goes off right there. Nice team kill by Chaotic. They're holding this very, very strongly.
I mean, we've been talking a lot about Bryn here. We've been talking them up on this hog, but let's have a big shout for Shell there. A huge grab for the follow-up as well. Just insane plays, honestly, out of Chaotic Den in general. Really coordinated as well. As Shell, 4 HP, but somehow lives. And it's those little moments sometimes in Overwatch that just show you, hey, the karma is in their favor right now for Chaotic Den, and Pengus are really struggling.
Yeah, Pengus started out really, really strong. I mean, they had almost a kind of an unanswered push for a little while there, and now the Chaotic has made some adjustments, I think, and they've tightened up a little bit, and it is a back and forth fight right now. Layla goes down, Bebop goes down, both teams down a tank as Pengus loses another one. Waffle goes down to some dynamite. Oh, a big tire by Weak there. And then it cleans up Clutch as well with another very strong hold, man. Chaotic becoming an unbreakable door right now.
It's just like the way that they're cycling these ultimates, because look, Bryn has one ready. Ukami already has one ready after a soul-destroying tire comes out and wipes your team, and they just don't have the resources. Laylo going down so fast as well already to Shell. That is a good trade out though, so Shell being down takes a lot of that front side pressure down. So, you know, maybe they can work their way in here. Zelos with a good pick, but this Ashe just in this backside sees so many low HP heroes right for the picking. Down goes Clutch, and it's just going to be a cleanup crew. Bob thrown out as well. Is there anything left for Pengus here?
Goodness.
I don't think so.
Oh my goodness. Merc just putting on a clinic there at the end for that last hold and just hitting the shots they needed to hit when they needed to hit them. Very, very nice job by Chaotic to clutch up and keep them from getting that 3rd point. So that's going to be 2 points to Pengus, and we'll see how Chaotic can answer when they are on attack.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, I mean, they have pushed it to 2 points. So there is a world in which Pengus can definitely hold this. But I think they need to try and adapt. I think they either need to go all out defense. So bring in a Mei, they obviously can't do the Bastion, bring in a Mei, bring in a Rhine, and just really try and stalwart hold. Maybe keep trying this Brig. I feel like the Brig kind of struggled quite a lot, particularly into the splash damage that Weak for Cheeks on this junk is bringing out. If everyone's kind of close knit in that choke, then they're going to get extra value from these bombs. So maybe they go for the dive option, which is what they're looking at potentially here with the Winston and with the Reaper. Now, I actually quite like the Reaper idea. It's a good way to try and burn through these very heavy tanks.
Yeah, Reaper could be nice if they can get up on Hog, get up on Bryn. They were teasing an Ana, but they chose to go Sigma instead here. We'll see how that plays off for Pengus, but they got to do something to shut down Bryn, because if he can just keep hooking people in left and right, and there's not a lot of shield for Pengus right now. They're kind of playing kind of an interesting comp, to be honest. They've got kind of a little bit of everything here, trying to do a little speed defense, I think, just keep people together. And this first team fight is underway as they have already made it through the first gate here. And Waffle, we got a little Winston. I do love a little Winston play, gonna jump on, but not able to get much done with it. Pengus loses a couple, Chaotic loses a couple. Still a pretty even fight. However, Chaotic is slowly pushing forward here. That's Horp Turret putting into work. Not enough though. Bryn able to take down the Laylo, and it does look like Pengus being pushed back as Chaotic is unrelenting. Bebop really creating some forward separation here.
Yeah, it's this kind of movement, this hooking people out of position. You know, the pinning of the Rhine is discombobulating Pengus here, and they can't coordinate. They're having a really hard time grabbing people when they're displaced. I do love the Mizuki pick though. We haven't seen Mizuki, we haven't talked about them yet. But this idea, you know, if they are going to be playing close like this, the Mizuki is a great idea to try and keep everyone up. But look at Shell. They have zero fear. Hunting them in the tunnels like rats in the sewers. They had no problem going solo. And this shows the confidence that Chaotic Den have right now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that confidence in the last round too, with the way that they were playing and you know, not needing to be super grouped, but also trusting that everybody was doing their job. And that's just moving forward here. We'll see if Pengus can answer. They've struggled a little bit on the defensive side against Chaotic. Once Chaotic kind of gets momentum going, we haven't seen a whole lot of adaptation yet. So hopefully Pengus can pull something out, make whatever change they need to make, and give Chaotic a good stance here.
A big shout out to Pepper over here, giving us the jetpack cat. Maybe we get to see some really fun cat shatters, or you know, some shenanigans with that. But weak for cheeks with another tire, getting that first pick, and look at how quickly they jump off the back of it and just take everybody out. One goes down, they all fall down like dominoes.
Yeah, that was a good tire. Got one and did damage to a few others, and then it was just an avalanche from there as they just cascaded down forward onto him. But yeah, I want to see these jetpack cats do jetpack cat stuff. Okay, that's what I want. Don't make this over too soon. Pepper, get out there, do some jetpack cat. All right.
If anyone wanted to know the state of Overwatch right now, this cast is kind of it, because no one really is bothered about the rest of this game apart from give us the cat in some kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want shenanigans in my Overwatch right now, okay?
And that is the name of this season, I feel like, is Season Shenanigans. As we see Dirk actually getting into the mix, though, with a lovely Sigma. Finally takes out Weak on this Junkrat, gets that pressure out, gets all of that damage out of the game so they can finally try and get some momentum in their favor.
Yeah, good hold here so far, as Chaotic is kind of struggling to get it around this last corner. We'll see Jetpack Cat is coming in, brings the shatter airdrop right on the back of him. Gonna swing it out, but not enough to get it done. Pengus was ready and... But you can't, you can't try.
Goodness. I just love how telegraphed that was. And the fact that Waffle could literally just stand there with the shield and just watch him drop and just block it. Just fantastic. Love it.
It was fun to watch regardless. But, you know, it didn't work out the way that they had scripted it in their head. But, hey, you appreciate the try. Clutch looks like he's going to try to do a Reaper roll here, dropping down, getting that high ground. But Jetpack Cat is on him, saying not today, maybe.
Yeah, great pickoff on Shell, though. Suddenly, they are getting these first pickoffs, and sometimes Overwatch is just a game of getting this first pickoff and snowballing off the back of it. As we see now, the Torb ult is dropped on the floor. The floor is lava, but Weak is back in it, getting a couple of kills. It's trades all around. This still could be anyone's fight, really, but Chaotic are having a back around the corner, and they are holding Pengus. You've got to do this for 3 minutes, but hey, they're giving us signs of life.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Chaotic had a 3.5-minute hold, I think, at this same area. They were able to pull it out. Looks like Pengus has made the adjustments that they needed to at least stall this a little bit longer. We'll see if they can hold it together and keep the ult economy in their favor as it is right now. And we'll see if they can just keep it together. Lots of fire strikes coming out there. As Bebop gonna rush in. We got Weak with the tire coming down. Chaotic putting everything they have into this last push, getting that team kill. And just as I was speaking, Chaotic overcomes Pengus.
That was just a full dump. They went, okay, we've got one. Everybody pop your buttons. Let's go. The tire down, the bob down. No chance to get back in it. And what a first series. Looks like they came to play today, Chaotic Den. They're not messing about. And look at this sneaky. Great tire play from Weak.
Yeah, you love to see the old, you know, the press the win button there at the end, right? Like, hey, we're pretty much where we need to be. We got what we got, baby.
Yeah.
We're just gonna throw everything we have and hope for the best, and then it worked out for him. So great defense by Pengus, great effort there. Chaotic Den just able to edge him out there and make it onto the next round here. So Chaotic Den is gonna take that first match.
Yeah,
big
absolutely.
Plays, anything that you really loved in that? I mean, we didn't get as much Jetpack Cat as I had hoped we would, but you know,
I wanted to see more of the Mizuki, to be honest. I think this hero is exceptionally good in these very close quarters engagements. Obviously, you've got this AoE heal. I think the root is really, really strong, particularly for isolations and stuff like that. You know, if you wanted to do it in combination with something like the Hog, you know, maybe Chaotic Den want to run that. It's like a free hook. You know, you stun them, root them in place, hook them back, displace them, they're already out the fight. So I think that's, you know, there's a great pocket pick there for teams to start playing around with. So yeah, let's see more of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to see these new heroes as people, you haven't had a whole lot of time to really get comfortable with them. So, I mean, no surprise that we're seeing a lot of the classics out here, but it is nice to see the new ones come in and see how they kind of shake things up. You can look at kind of the accolades that some people earned in that last match. You got Merc coming out with the Heroes Played Ult Farmer award here and put out 4 ultimates with a few different heroes there. And Bryn, the Executioner, picking up 45 eliminations, 24 of which were final blows. Over 20k damage and over 10k healing on ye old Roadhog.
Yeah,
he
goodness
was
gracious, great performance.
Yeah. I was really surprised, honestly, that like, I don't know, maybe it's my you know, my diamond level of much brain, but when I see a Roadhog on the other team, I'm almost always thinking like, hey, let's get an Ana, let's get an Ana, let's get an Ana, let's just do it real quick. You know what I mean? Let's just shut that down right now. We're not playing that game. I don't care. I don't need him hitting his heal juice for the next 10 hours and just making me look silly. Let's just shut him down as fast as we can. But we didn't really see that.
Sometimes though, I think sometimes it's very easy to pigeonhole yourself into trying to combat one character. And yes, you know, they were definitely the playmaker, but sometimes you definitely get pigeonholed into that way of thinking and not thinking about the team comp as a whole. So
yeah, for sure. Well, guys, that brings our quarterfinals to a close. So our competitors are going to be taking a short break to strategize, and we'll be moving into the semifinals here shortly, where we should have a couple more matches for you. Nick, what do you expect to see from our competitors in the upcoming match? Is there any particular team or strategy coming up that you are expecting to shine?
I mean, the meta is kind of all over the place a little bit at the moment, but I'm always a big fan of just brawl. Like, get in there and brawl it out, you know? Swing with the fists and just, you know, and just go for it.
Just let it happen, right?
So yeah, and especially in 6v6, you know, compared to 5v5, you've got so much more scope for that as well. So don't forget, everybody, to vote in the poll to support your favorite team playing in the chat. And the teams that are moving on to our semifinals are going to need to pull it together and strategize and get ready to face. Well, I mean, we've seen how good Chaotic Den were already. So if they want a chance to make it to the finals, there's your bar already. So with that being said, I mean, we've only seen one set of teams so far. Knowing what we know about High Anxiety and the Hotties, who do you think is going to make it further? Who are we expecting to come out on top here?
Oh, versus High Anxiety and the Hotties, I don't know. I mean, they're both good teams. They've both been in several of the KTN Overwatch tournaments, and performances vary, right? So I'm not gonna put money on it, you know, on either one or the other. I'm gonna play the Switzerland move here, and we're just gonna stay neutral on that. But I just hope we get a nice, really good fight, and I hope we get some more Jetpack Cat.
I tried, guys. I really tried. It looks like we got some new members joining us in chat tonight. Would you mind giving them a quick rundown of what the Dragonblade Arena 6v6 edition is?
Yeah, of course. So for anybody who's just joining us, welcome to the Dragonblade Arena League 6v6 edition. My name is Slevin. I'm your play-by-play caster this evening, and in the booth today with me is my co-caster and game analyst, Simply Nickish. Now, if you're new here, the Dragonblade Arena League is a single elimination league where our teams tonight are going to be battling across pre-selected maps from a pool of 9. So now, before we jump into the semifinals, I'm going to recap that map pool and the scoring system for tonight's tournament. The maps in tonight's tournament, we have pre-selected 9 of the most popular Overwatch maps. There is 3 available per game mode, and they are voted on by our competitors as they progress through their matchups. So the first map will take place in the control game mode, and that is going to be decided by a coin toss. The second map is for the hybrid game mode, and that is decided by the losing team from the first map. For our tiebreaker, if we go to a tiebreaker, that will be done on Flashpoint game mode and will also be decided by the loser of the second map. Oh, Nick, can you explain to new viewers how scoring is working in tonight's Dragonblade Arena League?
I most certainly can. Scoring in the Dragonblade Arena League is based on the integrated systems of the game modes, Control, Hybrid, and Flashpoint. Teams earn points through a match format where they compete in a series of 3 maps, and each map win contributes to a team's overall score. A team must score 2 points in order to be declared the winner of that matchup. In essence, a best of 3. So before we start setting up the next match, I just want to take a quick second, as we always like to, and thank the incredible staff at KTN. We just get to sit here and look pretty and pretend to know what we're doing. There's a lot of other staff behind the scenes who make this possible, and we wouldn't be able to be here without them. So make sure you go and show these staff a lot of love in chat, and thank you to all of them. So those of you interested in competing in future tournaments or leagues, head over to the website kicktournamentnetwork.com, where you can find all of our socials, the event scoreboard, KTN merch, and upcoming tournament. And by the way, no skill cap. Anyone of any skill level can participate. So while we're giving our competitors time to load up for the next match, we're going to take a very quick break. So don't go anywhere. KTN will be right back.
And welcome back to the Dragonblade Arena League 6v6. My name is Slevin, your play-by-play caster this evening, and in the booth with me today is my co-caster and game analyst, Simply Nickish. We just had a very short break here, and our competitors are ready to launch into the semifinals. So let's get right into the action. Nick, what map are we going to?
That's a great question. We are going into... I'm just bringing it up. Apologies. Oh, we're going to Nepal. Sorry, I had a mind blank. Yes, we're going to Nepal.
It's like, this looks like a snowy village map. What is it? Is this Atlas?
Oh, I do want to see that one though.
Yeah. Hopefully we get some of the newer stuff going on too. It looks like our early picks are coming in. High Anxiety versus Anya Neez. Okay.
Great name.
High Anxiety gonna go ahead and ban Doomfist, and Anya banning Mercy.
Yeah, interesting. And I do like what we're seeing here from High Anxiety. We talked about the Mizuki, and I think Mei is just such a good control DPS right now, especially for these kind of control points. Being able to block off even just one entrance, as we see the Rhines headbutt each other, go head to head already, and the Mei, Sully, and Nutmeg already laying down the heat as High Anxiety showing up strong to start.
Yeah, definitely came out to play and to take that first point pretty handedly here as Anya gets pushed back after losing a few early there. You gotta love those Reinhardt plays. Those immediate, like, two goats on a battlefield just headbutting each other for supremacy.
That might be the most perfect analogy of a Reinhardt 1v1 I've ever heard. There's just two mountain goats going at each other.
And next team fight coming in here as it looks like Anya pushing back up. A High Anxiety not giving them any ground. Gonna try to choke them here. Although A couple eliminations though from high anxiety or on high anxiety. Anya putting out a pretty nice offensive now. High anxiety, see if they're gonna be able to respond to this as they lose another one. Big Soli goes down. It looks like it might be time to back down and regroup here as they gained 30% on that, but Anya came back really strong on that second attack.
Yeah, and that's what these early fights can matter so much as well. But, you know, you don't have the ultimate economy yet. You're trying to build it up. And we see this kind of back and forth as once again, the Rhines just headbutt each other as May goes so low though. And here comes the big swings. Big Sully takes out one. Granite gets their opposite number on the Lucio. And once again, high anxiety off the back of this May. And this is why I wanted to bring up this pick. I think severely underestimated across the board of how much May can give you on these maps.
Yeah, just controlling the map, the geometry basically, and just forcing people in the lanes, blocking people off from heals, like this right here. I mean, huge wall right there, and they pick up a couple eliminations with it. Both tanks go down because of a simple May wall, and it looks like May gonna try to chase down the Junkrat, able to get the final elimination shot on a blind woman. You got to feel bad about that one. As it looks like Anya not wanting to overextend too much. Or sorry, high anxiety not wanting to overextend too much and going to pull back a little bit here.
That might be one of my favorite comms of yours of all time. Incredible work. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to talk about the swaps as well because we see Forehead Kiss moving to that Zarya, but we don't even have time. They're straight back in it. The May wall's up. The cage is out as well as Young Keys is trying to get any damage they can, but already goes down as we see a blind woman taking out Zarya on that Farah. Just great names, by the way, guys. If you do want to participate in KTN tournaments, just give us some great names. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, this is wonderful. A lot of good names so far in this tournament, and Anya staying pretty strong on this push, seeing if they can make something happen here. They've got to get on point though, because it is almost done. Overtime bar is on right now. Just chaos right now on the screen. Anya loses a few. High Anxiety's lost a few. It is just a constant go back and forth battle, and High Anxiety able to keep them off the point long enough to secure round one.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get for like holding them off site. You know, you hold them at that front entrance and they can't touch the point, and they just keep that percentage ticking over, and they get to that 100% without really much contestation after that first team fight win from Anya Neez.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just good back and forth all the way. We'll see how the second point comes. I did want to mention though, for everybody watching at home, everybody who's just joining in, there is an overlay spectating bug right now where team colors will not always be accurate to the player of that team. So for example, Lu Queen is blue right now. Sometimes they will show up as red in the kill feed and look like they're on high anxiety. So we're doing our best not to do that. But if you're watching the kill feed, sometimes those colors will be wrong. And that is just a unfortunate Overwatch spectator bug.
Yeah. It's a Overwatch bug across the board at the moment. So we will try our best to keep on top of it, but just be aware that the colors are going to be very misleading. And we will try our best to keep you on top of the action for this next round. As on your knees, have to try and pull back in. And we see Cakes moving to maybe one of my most hated heroes in this game, Sombra. But they could do a lot of work in this point. So let's see what if Cakes can bring them that first pick that we talked about in the first series and allow them to snowball off the back of it to try and gain that frontside position on this point.
And yeah, we're well underway right now. Oh, nice shots there on Symmetra goes down. A blind woman goes down as well. Lu Queen goes down. Anya getting the worst of this first fight right here. We'll see if they're able to pick out a pick or get away from it. Cakes maybe trying to go on the escape. Nope, runs right into Nutmeg, ready and waiting there with that big old hammer, and that is going to be a first battle win for High Anxiety.
Yeah, and I do like this change to the Cassidy. I was going to talk about that. It feels like they have a lack of damage right now to try and get through. You know, you've got to get through a Rhine. You've got to get through Zarya bubbles. You've got to get through May Ice Block and May walls. And on top of all of that, you've got these two aura healers sitting literally on top of them, keeping them all alive, and just straight down Nutmeg.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I didn't even have time to mention it before the entire team just went down there. And this is a very tight-knit snowball comp that High Anxiety are running. So
Yeah.
I feel like, and look at them hiding. They know they're ready. I would want to see a Junkrat. They need some like AoE damage here to punish them. And the hammer down already and waiting.
Oh
and
my
it's just,
goodness.
this is terrible to see as they are bullying them at this point and
The
playing
hammer
very
is big
tight.
and the hammer is strong. That was
My goodness.
this is cheeky, man. This is so cheeky. Everybody
This
crouched,
is a
just
step
sitting
play.
right. Yeah, that's good.
This is a conscious decision from High Anxiety to go, we are running this.
Yes, yeah, they are. Man, Anya needs to figure something out if they want to stay in this, because they need to get to that point
Oh, my
pretty quick
goodness.
here as High Anxiety crosses the 80% threshold now, and another team kill, 3 team kills in a row. Anya needs to figure out how to respond. Just go all jetpack cat and see how it goes.
I mean, Jetpack Cat honestly might not be bad just to touch the point at this stage because they can't even get close. This Mei is trying to track anyone going around. They get caught in the trap, so they might be able to at least, well, they would have been able to try and touch. They do try and force them back, but it's not going to be in time. There's so much gone already. And, wow, just very dominant from High Anxiety, honestly. Not
Yeah,
much else to say about that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, once they get rooted in there, they are tough to pull out. They get strong roots real fast. So, good effort by Anya. High Anxiety in these small little places, these small little corridors with that Rhine hammer, and just everybody snowballing like crazy at the first sign of weakness and just able to pounce on them and make something happen. High Anxiety making quick work of that match. Nice job.
Yeah, I think that's, one of the reasons I don't particularly enjoy Nepal that much. It feels like the kind of map that when you get shot out and you kind of lose those first early fights, it's very difficult to get back in.
Yeah.
It almost then has to rely on a good flanking play from one of your DPS to try and get a pick off to then snowball off the back of it. But trying to play front to back in these very tight chokes in Nepal can be really, really difficult, especially playing into a Mei. So, they just got shut out and held out, and there's, not much room for them to do anything off the back of that.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough spot to be in, on your heels in that map. And then, I mean, High Anxiety just firing on all cylinders there. You can see the communication was obviously very good. The teamwork was obviously very good. Take a quick look at a replay here from that same round as Nutmeg comes out with the Rhine, and he's just, I mean, this hammer was just unavoidable right there. And then, I mean, Big Soli popping the soldier soldier ult even as they you saw that kind of the teamwork there where Nutmeg came out and he pushed the tanks back and he made the space, which is what a tank is supposed to do, right? Created that space, and then Soli just absolutely capitalized on it. Nobody protecting the squishies, pop that visor, get the high ground, and then just run down on them.
Yeah, and I think, in that situation, we're seeing a lot of Rhine in these 6v6 comps because of how strong they are as a front line. So, we saw a Bastion ban quite rightly in the previous series because Bastion is a good answer to that. And we are going to be going to Eichenwald. Perfect accent, Nick. Well done.
That was great.
We're going to be going to Eichenwald for map number 2 for this hybrid. And again, this is one with, this trying to get through to this first point is very tight choke points under that bridge. So again, we're likely going to see this Rhine front line. And I want to see some more flyer prio. I want to see some echoes, maybe flying around with that jetpack cat, trying to just get around this front to back.
Yeah, lots of space here, tall skybox, lots of areas to kind of move in and out as a flyer. So I think we'll see some sky people
Diva.
in this one. Yeah, I mean, Diva, Jetpack Cat,
Love a Diva.
even, Farah, right? Let's just get some people in the sky, play some verticality here, and see if that can change things up.
Yeah, as
really
you start to
brings
look
more
at the
jetpack action.
accolades. Yeah, we've got no bias, by the way, guys. We don't have a favorite hero. As we
No.
see some of these accolades coming, Guardian Angel here for Velvet. Good amount of healing. Solid. And, I've talked a little bit about this character, Mizukin. One of my favorites, I think, additions. And just a very unique support, which I've been enjoying playing a lot of. And this May is a problem. I would almost want to see a May ban, to be honest. I think May is just such a strong control DPS.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we don't see a May band after how well Q played on him last time, and just the isolation that they were able to create for their team, and just the big plays they were able to create. So I would assume we're not gonna get a May ban. Actually, okay, never mind. We're gonna see how this goes. The bans are in. Looks like High Anxiety taking Junkrat off the playing field, and Anya Neez taking out.
So the Junkrat is exactly what I was talking about in the previous series. It's such a smart ban. They were obviously listening to the professional caster here. The reason that Junkrat is so good is because you've got to look at what they're trying to do, right? We talked about these 2 aura AoE heals with the Mizuki and the Lucio. So they want to stay in this tight-knit group to maximize that healing output. So they're going to be tight-knit together, and those bombs and the splash damage from the bombs is a really good way to punish that. But I also like a blind woman going onto Pharah because it's the same principle, just from the sky.
When blind people fly, I don't know if that's what you want, but we'll see how it goes. It could go really, really well.
Not ideal without partner
in theory.
there, so I'm surprised to not see the Mercy kind of, being their guide up there,
Well, in theory, it doesn't sound great, but maybe it'll work out for him. And man, High Anxiety making short work of that first capture point, as they are already on point. Pushed Anya off pretty ready-handedly. Young Keezus jumped up early there and got eliminated, and that kind of gave High Anxiety a little bit of room to snowball into it. And if we know anything about High Anxiety, is that they will snowball given the chance.
Yeah, we were too busy making jokes, so we missed that completely. But it was a very, very fast first push. And 5 minutes 30 on the clock already. So High Anxiety putting their stamp on the game early, as Nutmeg holding this high ground, ready to drop the hammer, both figuratively and literally.
Yep, we got that Bastion dropping down with the shield. A nice back attack, picking up a couple eliminations. Gets charged away though. Now it's a one-on-one goat versus goat battle. Nutmeg comes out way out of position, and nobody there to really challenge him anymore, so he's gonna get away with it.
Yeah, just all the way in that back line, no fear whatsoever. And, this is the confidence that you can play with when you are kind of dominating this much right now. So this car is already being full sent. Nutmeg gets another pick on King, going down very early. And these early picks are so damaging because it's so much harder to stage a good team fight when you're already one down in a 6v6 like this. But so many ultimates to work with. Velvet, Q, and Sully all got theirs. Polly and Lou Queen with theirs for Anya Neez. So this is going to be a lot on Polly, but already going down. A blind woman gone down.
That's tough. You hate to see it, man. We'll get the ADA in here at some point. But there we go. An ult here by Q coming down, gets a couple eliminations with it. And we got a res on Lou Queen right back in the fight, though. Anya still on their heels. High Anxiety giving up no pressure, no quarter right now, as Nutmeg just absolutely fearless, just driving in there. Cakes unfortunately not able to get away. Nutmeg just swinging the hammer, slowly coming on to clean up a little bit as well. High Anxiety firing on all cylinders, to continue to fire on all cylinders, I guess. And Anya really trying to figure out how to answer this. And man, right now they're just in stagger to hope phase, and it just does not go well. Solely and Nutmeg really leading that charge and making it happen.
I am not even sure if that cart stopped at any point during that round, except to open the doors. That was insanely fast from High Anxiety. Just, they can play with this much confidence. They don't have to really stop, and they just, someone needs to tell them that the S key exists, that, they don't just have to W key it forward. They can stop if they need to. But just insane first round. I don't know what you do as on your knees. I don't think any particular strat here is going to do it by itself. Try and push back Anxiety here.
I think I heard through the grapevine, so it might just be a rumor, but to join High Anxiety, you actually have to remove the S key from your keyboard. So I think that might be, they're just playing into their strengths. They don't even have that ability right now to go backwards, so
that would explain something.
We'll see if Anya can make something and get a little more verticality, throwing in a little Echo out there, or sorry, that's not Echo, Juno a Juno, another flyer out there, and maybe we get more verticality than that. I hope. You know, we haven't seen a jetpack cat yet, which, you know, whatever.
Whatever. Like, I'm not bad about it. Like, I'm fine, guys. I'm fine. It's whatever. Like, I'm fine. As you
First
see,
battle underway here as the Bastion has pretty nice positioning up on top of the bridge there, able to take down. Gok goes down, unfortunately, as Polly throwing just asteroids and rocks, trying to get something to happen, but High Anxiety pushing way out under that bridge, and just, I mean, Nutmeg with a hammer again, just unrelenting, and not using the shield as a crutch, but using it very strategically when he absolutely needs to back off. Almost gets eliminated there, and oh man. What a back and
does
forth.
finally go down though. Getting the Doomfist is big. That's a lot of pressure. So they do actually get a few kills, and this might lend them onto the point. So actually really nicely done from On Your Knees to kind of soak that pressure a little bit. Basically playing the numbers game from spawn to say, hey, fine, killers, we're going to come back quicker and just overwhelm. And it only takes 1 or 2 pickoffs to get them onto the point. Whether they can keep this going, though, as the Rhines just sail off the side. Young Jesus says, see ya later. I'm howdy.
You'll love to see a Ryan take the sacrifice for the team if we need it. But Nutmeg switched off of Ryan onto Hammond the hamster, and he's going to do the death roll here. The most annoying thing in the game. You're trying to capture a point. Forehead kiss comes in with a huge Doomfist ult. Oh my goodness, taking honestly, Ryan taking off the map there may have left him open just a little bit more for High Anxiety to come in and get embedded into this point, because they almost had it captured.
Yeah, in hindsight, that probably would have helped them after the fact. But yeah, really good from High Anxiety. And very quick recognition as well to go, hey, we need to stall out. Let's quick change the ball, stall out, and allow everyone else to come back in and take this fight. As the Mizuki Sanctuary is dropped to keep them all going. And there's the beast as well. Oh boy, here they go. They want forward momentum. And poor Polly can do nothing but just take it and accept death as High Anxiety comes straight back in it and do not let them get anything.
Yep, there's that snowball we're talking about. I mean, they did use a couple ults to make it happen, and it was 2 or 3 ults really in both support ults, so that might leave them a little more exposed coming in this next push, but they do have 2 DPS ults. This next fight is going to be an ult splash, I'm pretty sure, here, as Anya has to make something happen. Right now, an even trade on side to side. God. Oh, nice little Bastion ult right there, taking down Gok. Anya getting pushed back, not able to get out of this cobblestone street here. They are struggling to make something happen, but again, the ult economy is going to be heavily in their favor, and I think that they're just going to press the win button here.
I mean, that's when you know it's difficult, when like you have 6 ultimates and you can't even press the buttons because of how much pressure is coming out and how quickly these kills are coming out. But we see one go down. Blue Queen drops that Juno, and Cakes, there we go. Okay, Cakes showing up, gets 2. Forehead does take them out, gets traded out, but look at Polly in this backside, gets the Bastion as well. So, okay, they press the buttons and they've moved forward. Sigma just going to hold out this Doomfist from trying to contest.
Yeah, and it is still being contested, so they got to make something happen. They have a couple ults left. It might be worth just using it. If you don't get this point, it doesn't matter. You know, I'd probably be smashing on that hamster pretty quick there, but they're able to take him down and get the point without using the ult. So you love to see that. They have a new life here as they move on to the second point.
Yeah, big kill. I thought that was just going to be another hamster stall out, to be honest. But they do manage to get the kill, so they get point number 1. There is signs of life here on your knees. They're only on 1 knee right now, not both.
Yeah, not both yet. They are signs of life, and they are pushing forward. Forehead kiss goes down. That's going to be big for Anya to be able to push through this little choke point here. A blind woman takes down Nutmeg. That's both tanks down for High Anxiety. That gives them a lot of ways to move, but Cute answers back with the Bastion ult. Been very successful with those Bastion ults for High Anxiety so far in this round, and that is just a nasty little spot to sit on as the Bastion turret, picking up another elimination and almost single-handedly stopping this aggression after those first couple tank losses.
Yeah, but I mean, Sully quietly in the background for High Anxiety is just getting these kills time after time after time on this soldier. And it's making it so hard for them to get any... They win a fight, they press their buttons, they move a little bit, and then High Anxiety just comes straight back in. As we see Forehead drops down, gets killed, actually. It's a big punish on their overcommitment because now they can push in off the back of it. Cakes gets cute as well. So maybe there's a hammer here ready if they want to try and go for it, Keezus.
We'll see. You got to make sure that Ryan doesn't block it. That would be the most devastating thing for them right now. Gonna drive in. Oh, it gets automatically denied by Velvet Panther, throwing down the ult there and keeping them alive. And Nutmeg comes in and cleans it up. What looked like a really nice attempt, or a really nice lead up for Anya Neez, gets thwarted right there by a single button press.
Oh, yeah, and just to throw salt in the wound, look at this. Goes down and then instantly drops the hammer the other way and gets a 3K off the back of it from Nutmeg. Just disgusting Ryan behavior.
Disgusting Ryan behavior. Yeah, the Mizuki proving really, really useful right there. Oh, man, that's going to be tough. Nice Sigma ult there. By Pauly, picking up a couple eliminations. Maybe they can build the momentum off of this that they need. They have 25 seconds to get onto that cart, and I mean they're making plays right now. This is the chance. They're gonna have to win at least one more big team fight here to keep this going and secure that next point. We'll see if they have the persistence in them to be able to do it. Nobody really having much ult right now. Anya is gonna actually has a couple DPS ults, so this is a good time for them as High Anxiety is losing the ult economy battle in this current fight.
Yeah, and I think this is the big difference we're seeing, you know, Anya Neez is having to invest so much just to try and get any forward momentum. And High Anxiety are free, kind of free to do it without any ultimates, really. You know, sometimes they can just win out the trades and get these early kills. But we do see them keep going forward. So Polly is suddenly woken up a little bit on this Sigma as Forehead trying to stall it out. It's a good push off the point, and actually Polly goes really low, but it's so close. They just need to edge it just a little bit more to try and get point number 2. It's a huge pick. Polly again getting these pickoffs on this Sigma. Good stun, gets a double, and hey, okay.
There we go.
Back up standing. They're off both knees.
Wow, yeah, Anya showing that, you know, it might look like you're out, but you're not out until it's over. And they are being super persistent, and you love to see that kind of dedication to keep moving forward and no giving up, no surrender here. And I mean, Pauly right now playing Sigma like crazy and just putting on so much pressure with the tank that is not really super great at that sometimes, right? And really making it happen, and the team really supporting them.
Yeah, they're playing lights out right now, to be honest. Forehead as well. He's getting punished very consistently for some over-aggression. I think maybe the overconfidence is playing a little bit, but what a crazy ult from the Rhine just to stop anything else. You know, Nutmeg drops it, understanding that he just wanted to dive in, instantly drops that hammer, and oh boy, a pretty handed team fight off the back of it.
Yeah, this is going to be maybe the last one, maybe 2 team fights left in this here. We'll take another look at it as we jump back into the live action here. And Gok picks up a couple eliminations with the Bastion there. That's going to give Anya a little bit of breathing room here as they have the numbers advantage moving into this. But they're going to have to do something as May throws an ult down and everybody's frozen. You hate to see that when you're trying to push in. Anya going to lose both tanks moving into this fight. It is all up to the squishies to stay on point as we are jumping into the overtime. Meter is up. This is going to be really, really tough for Anya to overcome this right now.
There's no one to protect them at all. The tanks had already gone down. They were forced to drop the ults to try and stay on, but there was no protection. And they just got full sent on. So High Anxiety. Goodness gracious me.
Yeah, they came to play. They came to play. We've seen them in mini tournaments here at KTM before, and this is, I mean, one of the best performances I think that we've seen out of them. So you can tell that they've definitely been working and getting better, and it's starting to show off here.
Yeah, they've been doing their homework for the new meta, and definitely, you know, playing Mizuki as well really well. It's a really fun strat to try and incorporate this new hero into. So yeah, they've definitely been doing their homework with a very quick 2-0.
Yeah, unfortunately, can't get too excited about them. We didn't see any jetpack cat plays, which is really just the worst part of today. We need to do next KTN tournament is going to be Jetpack Cats only. And they're just going to see how it goes. It'll be awesome.
Also, massive shout out to a blind woman. You just gave me so much joy from that name of just what we could cast with that. So if you ever want to join us in KTN tournaments, just use that as a benchmark. We get so much joy from these silly names when we get to do these tournaments. So
but not names that are hard to pronounce. Right? Don't tongue twister us. Make us laugh. All right.
Yeah, that's the key.
No, but lots of good plays there. I mean, high anxiety is showing up. If they can keep that momentum going forward, I mean, they have a pretty good chance to make something happen here today. Was there a?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen both series be quite like one-sided, right? So far. So I'd love to see those two go together and see then who comes out on top between those two teams.
Yeah, it should be. Whatever the final ends up looking like, it should be a pretty good fight from what we've seen today. Definitely two dominative performances, and when two Titans clash, it's always a good time to watch. So I'm looking forward to that, whatever comes next. And then any big plays, anything that you saw there that we want to see more of going into the next match, the team comps.
I want to see a Rhine ban.
Want to see
as weird as that sounds, I kind of want to see a Rhine ban because I want to see what these teams are going to bring to the table to sit on this front side rather than a Rhine. You know, we've got to see that a lot. And if you're going to do it, drop it with a cat, right? So they can drop on the top. And then we can see a shadow, right?
We saw it once.
I think that's the rule for the rest of this tournament. You're going to only play Rhine with the cat, all right? I want to see them try some different type. I want to see Domina, to be honest. I want to see them run this very solid poke tank in the front and see how that looks.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen any Emre really at all yet, which I mean a pretty aggressive ranged DPS, right? And it can have some long sight lines and do some damage from afar while also being, you know, fairly useful up front as well. And we just haven't really seen much of those picks. I wonder if some of these heroes are too new for people to be super comfortable integrating them into their comp right now. But I would like to see a couple more of the new heroes show some face here. Mainly Jetpack Cat.
And we saw some of the accolades given out there, and we've talked up the May quite a lot. Big shout out to QPP, just pretty dominant in that performance from that series. So looking forward to seeing what the rest is going to bring today, because I believe we have a new team, I believe, for this one, if I'm correct.
I believe a new team coming in for this next match. Yeah, it looks like a Chaotic Den versus the Hotties is who we're going to be up against next as we're loading into our first match here. And it looks like the Hotties are going to take out Doomfist, and Chaotic Den is not showing up, but it is a Vendetta ban. Yeah,
for those of you, because obviously we can't see it, but a Vendetta ban from Chaotic Den. And we've seen a few of these players before. Midnight Muse we talked about. We have seen Saudi as well, and Bard. Bard's a personal favorite for us. Gave us some great plays, and on this map as well. So on this Cassidy. So running it back. For those of you who maybe have seen previous tournaments, an insane play from Bard on this map around this center point. So let's see if they can run it back into what has been a very good performance so far from Chaotic Den. Let's see if they can stand up to the Hotties.
Looks like we are going to get our first Imre pick here with Goulet on the Hotties. Gonna try something new here. Bryn hopping back on Old Faithful here. Not enough room for the Doomfist. They're going to go Hog and see if they can maintain that supremacy that they showed in the last round. We know that Chaotic really put on a show on their first match. So hopefully they can make that last into this new fight here as we're getting underway in our first big match. Bebop goes down. Midnight already popping the raise on Kool-Aid, bringing him back. Bullet goes down as well. Chaotic having a little bit of the advantage here, but a pretty even keel fight so far.
Yeah, and once again, Bryn bringing us this Hog and a great hook, great observing as we see Saudi get hooked in and killed by that Hog pretty handedly, and Goulet does get the trade out. So there's Emery starting to poke and prod, getting the damage down. but they can't really do it by themselves. So first percentage goes to Chaotic Den off the back hit.
Yeah, they're gonna win that first team fight. Bard popping around, hitting a couple good shots on Pepper, takes down Eliminate, not able to follow it up though, and goes down. Unlucky, but Midnight in there immediately with the res, putting Bard back in action. Midnight, and I said this earlier in the pre, Midnight on Mercy is an absolute pain to deal with. So I would absolutely hate to go against that. So they, you know, if they can't get her under control, it's going to be a tough fight for Chaotic, I think, either way. But the Hotties kind of rallying here a little bit, lots of poke back and forth. No big plays right now as everybody's kind of just in maintenance mode, so to speak. Bard gets an unlucky headshot, goes down there, and that is going to give Chaotic a little bit of an advantage. But another res on Bard.
Again, the res.
Popping him off again. Merc comes in with the ult, takes down Bullet Baby. Bard goes down again. Unfortunately, Goulet pops an ult, taken down. It is a back and forth, just a slugfest. One for you, one for me, one for you, one for me. Sadi finally goes down, able to stay alive for quite a while there. And then Midnight, getting chased down by Bren on Hog, and that is going to be a clean up crew. Chaotic going to win that second team fight.
Yeah, I will say, I do think Emery is quite a difficult champ to play into the Hog. You know, your ultimate is reliant on this very slow flying movement, and you're kind of food for a hook, really, during that ultimate. So I do think it is a particularly difficult matchup, but you know, we've talked a lot about these first pickoffs in these fights in 6v6 kind of snowballing. And I think this is where the rezzing from Mercy really comes into effect, because it kind of negates that very quickly, especially at the speed at which Midnight Muse is grabbing these rezzes. But Chaotic Den using the leverage from Bryn on this demonic pick to take that pretty cleanly for Chaotic Den.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth. It wasn't a clean sweep in terms of team fights and not losing people or whatever. There's a lot of, I mean, it was a lot of back and forth. Chaotic Den just able to put out more damage where it mattered and keep the Hotties at bay. They're going to take that first round. And we didn't notice there, but at the end, Shell Bebop switched off of Ryan onto Junker Queen. Maybe we'll get a little more of that, but it looks like back onto Ryan for at least the start of this next match here. And we'll see if Hotties can make the changes they need to make and get in there and make something happen and grab a point for this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same principle we saw from Chaotic Den in the first series. You know, it's this displacement strategy. You know, you've got the Rhine charging in and displacing someone out away from their team. You've got the Hooks pulling back in from Bryn. And this displacement just makes it so difficult for kind of, you know, the healers to stay on, or, you know, if you manage to get one of the DPS out position, it makes it so difficult to coordinate for the opposing team. Because you kind of got to play reactive then, right? You're trying to follow them around and react to the displacement movement rather than you being able to be proactive and make that first attack.
Yeah, our first hook off there with Bryn. Sadi goes down to Pepper as well. Bard picks up an elimination, but then goes down to Weak Cheeks. Looks like Chaotic's going to win this first team fight here as they have the numbers advantage coming in. Midnight going to pop a res on Bard again and keep him back in. We'll see how this pharmacy that they're playing is going to work out for him. Bard fans the hammer on Weak. Almost went down, though, able to come up with the kill. Has to run away, though, being chased. No! And ran right into a hog hook into the creek. That is tough luck there. This team fight is really raging, though.
Yeah, just fighting for their life over there, Bard. Midnight comes in to try and help. They swing around and suddenly there's a hog in your face hooking you off the map. Just terrifying, to be honest. We see Saudi, though, with this Ram, tried to put in some work, managed to get onto the point, but there's just not enough to keep these guys up with all of this damage coming out.
Yeah, and Bard just popped the ult right as Merc finished him off, so no utilization out of that ult. I mean, as soon as he said hot, he was dead. And that's going to be tough for them as they have no ults going into this next fight. Really, neither team do, but Chaotic Den all in the 60%. So they're going to be there a lot quicker, which is going to make this attack so much harder for the Hotties.
I mean, it's terrifying, right? When you're looking, you know, you can just look at the kill feed. You don't even need to watch the game to see that every 10 seconds, someone's getting hooked off this map. So it makes it terrifying to even want to try. But lovely concussion from Ghoul. Caught with hands down, and that's going to trigger them to move forward. That was a really nice play, and that's what they need to do. Get rid of this hog and play them at their own game. Okay, we need a counter. So can someone stay on the map, please? What is happening?
Too much mobility is a curse. Oh man, well, you have a great play by Goulet to get up high, knowing that Bryn was going to be sitting there on the edge, looking for those off-map hooks and able to boop him off really easily with that impulse. And we are back into this team fight, but the Hotties on the board here, showing signs of life. We'll see now that they have control of the center, if they can keep control of the center and use these choke points to their advantage for as long as they need to get this point here.
I don't know if this is possible, but I think having a stat of whether the map has more kills than the teams would be really funny. Because at this point, it honestly might be close. But yeah, the Hotties are building up to some ultimates, and Midnight actually changing off onto the... as they pop... Sorry. I was going to say both supports have their ults, and Kiri drops it straight after as well. And Bard looking for any kills off the back of the Deadeye, gets one, and Bard now wakes up. That's huge from them, and some nice swaps coming out from the Hotties.
Yeah, that was about as good as a push as you can have on the point, throwing the Kiriko down and then rushing in with the Hog ult and everything just supercharged. And then, I mean, Midnight making Zen switch and just, I mean, really keeping the team alive during that push there and kept them in that game.
Oh.
And you love to see that. Nice shots there. Weak Cheeks goes down. Chaotic struggling a little bit to get through these choke points. The Hotties onto something here now that they have a little bit of control.
Yeah, I think the Zen switch is actually really smart because the Discord orb gives so much extra damage to try and burn through this front line, and that's really what they've got to try and do. As we see Saudi posting up on this ramp as the ult pops and goes.
Nice.
And look at Saudi, gets a triple off the back of it. They don't want to risk jumping over the crevasse, and given the fact that Mappa's got so many kills, I don't blame them, but they're still pushing forward. And great from the Hotties, and suddenly everything is turned on a dime, and we have got ourselves a series.
Yeah, everybody from the Hotties right there just had their own little moment to shine and just turn it on, make the play that saves the team fight, and it looks like they're gonna be able to secure that first or that second round. Nice, we're going into our tiebreaker here.
Yeah, love to see it, and just really good adaptation. You know, we talk about Overwatch all the time being a game of ult economy, but also it's a game of adaptation. You know, it's a game of recognizing where you're weak, recognizing where you're strong, and adapting accordingly. So I love some of the changes that they made. And just a quick note to you all as we got to see them pop off there. Saudi is a KTN ambassador, so please go show them some love as well, as they had their little pop-off moment right there.
Yeah, and a multi-sport athlete. I believe she's participated in a couple Overwatch tournaments, but also a Valorant tournament as well. And I think maybe even Rivals. So showing up on all fronts here for KTN, and you know, showing that she can maybe do a little bit of everything. And you love to see that. Multi-sport athletes.
Absolutely. And as we get into this final map here, the decider, the be-all and end-all of this particular map. Let's see what they can bring out as Goulet switches to the Hanzo.
Yeah, and then Merc gonna swap over to Ash as well on the other side. Put a little more hit scan damage out, see if they can make something happen. And Bob, I mean, in this, especially on the point here, Bob can be a real menace once you get him loaded up. So Hanzo, though, nice shots there, taking Merc down easily in the beginning. Bard also taking down Pepper. It is a back and forth. I think both teams have lost 2 players right now. And however, Chaotic really making a push onto the point, and the Hotties not able to answer quite as quickly here. So Chaotic again, just making that early push on the point and going to pick up those early points, give them the slight lead here.
Yes. And Saudi was being such a pain in the backside, on the backside of that point, just poking and prodding, going back, getting the health, and just being a nuisance that they have to look behind them. And every time they look behind them, the Hanzo's there getting down the extra damage, as well as we see now the Bryn pop off, as we've seen many times already today, to bring them back into it. And great kill from Midnight.
Yeah, Bullet Baby got caught in a rock and a hog right there. And unfortunately, the hog didn't give way either. You hate to see that.
Rock the hog.
Goulet gonna throw some dragons out, gets an elimination off of it. Bryn gonna take down Bard. Claws on Kiriko. We got a double support elimination on Bebop here. As this is still just, I mean, every fight is just a back and forth. There isn't one team that is really dominating these fights. Both are taking casualties, and it's really just who goes down when and who is more persistent and can make the follow-ups happen when they need to. Oh, nice hook there. Diva gets demeched, and oh, nice Kiriko, nice Suzu. They keeping Diva alive, somehow managed to get out of that. Goes down now with the Moira ult Ukami throwing out there, just keeping them at bay here. It is going to be tough. They're 75% captured here. The Hotties have to answer quick.
Yeah, they have to get in here, and Hog is holding it down. Midnight with a great pick, though, having switched to that Kiri on the Moira. So one support down. It's a big kill if they can keep pushing forward. It's 88%. They've got to get in. They've got to use some resources. The Hog is trying to keep them all pinned to the wall. Bryn gets one, but look at Goulet popping up on this Hanzo. Gets two. Weak Cheeks going down in the backside. Bard following up as well, and they are on this point contesting. They need to keep contesting. Bryn, someone for the love of Mary, take down this Hog. How are they still standing on this point? And they bring it back off the back of Bryn just surviving forever, and Chaotic dead with a dominant third point to take this match.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Bryn there as Hog. It tanked the entire dragon from Hanzo. He was getting healed off to the side and also using his heal juice, and he tanked the entire dragon from Hanzo. And that is, if the ultimate dragon's not going to take him down, that is a tough fight, and that is where the focus needs to be on making sure that they can't do anything there. So they are going to take that. Looks like taking that first map there. Nice plays though. I mean, the Hotties really came out and showed up, made it happen, you know, put some hope back in there, lit a beacon, so to speak. But Chaotic did, and Bryn specifically, just absolutely unrelenting defense there.
I think you got to ban this Hog.
Yeah, I think get Hog, Hog,
I think
ban Ryan, bring Jetpack Cat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
If only there was more than one ban, but like I think they've got to take out this Hog. Like the hooks, the stun and bringing people out of position is just so devastating in these series that we've seen. So just get rid of it. Deal with the Doom. We've seen them, we've seen some overcommitments from Doom already. Maybe try and play for the overcommitment and punish that, with sleeps or nades and things like that. Maybe take an Anna into it. But this Roadhog is too much.
Yeah, he is proving to be an absolute menace. As we look at some of these accolades coming up here, Ukami getting the Guardian Angel with 13k healing and played a couple different heroes. I do love to see a good Kiriko. When she came out after, when Overwatch 2 shortly launched, or she came out shortly after it launched, I mean, a really, really fun hero to play. Uland, we saw some Imre plays here and then switched over to Hanzo. And I mean, playing a little bit of everybody, honestly, but let's talk about that Hanzo work for a minute. I mean, hitting lots of very nice headshots, getting some good dragons out there, at least zoning people out a little bit, picking up several eliminations with them as well. Also picking up the Ult Farmer award there, and then that just goes to show you how much damage they were putting on to keep that charge building as quickly as you can. So very, very good plays by both teams in that fight. Take a look at
I did like the Hanzo idea, and once again, we're having a look at the Saudi here on the Ram. I personally think the Ram is one of the better tanks to play into this Rhine. So if you're going to ban out the Hog, for example, going into this next matchup, if you're going to ban out the Hog, Ram is a really good idea into it, and we saw Saudi pop off with that as well. So wouldn't mind seeing that either, because obviously, for those of you who don't know, the punches and stuff can go through that shield. So not a bad answer at all. As we now go.
Bans are coming in. Chaotic choosing to ban Cassidy, which is an interesting choice here, and then the Hotties taking out Hog. So Bren is going to be back on Doomfist, and we'll see how that works out for him.
It's the Hog ban.
It's the Hog ban. It's the Hog ban we've been waiting for. We'll see how it works out for him here. As we are jumping in, and it looks like the Hotties choosing to play off a little bit here, kind of back on the point, letting them through that first choke pretty easily, and we'll see how that plays out as Bullet already goes down there on Diva, and Chaotic really pushing in very, very aggressively. The Hotties on their heels this whole time, already got one check on that point down, and it's gonna be really tough for the Hotties if they're gonna try to make a defense here. I don't see that happening. I think Chaotic has got this first point already.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a mistake, to be honest, letting them in that far, especially with who you know they're going to play, right? You know they're going to play this Doomfist. You know, they've got this Tracer as well to get in behind you. So allowing them in the front side just meant that you were completely corralled from all sides. And the point is already gone. And not just that, but they are already down this street, taking a stroll down Overwatch lane right now and just pushing forward with no problems, really, whatsoever. And we've seen this story before on Kings Row. If you allow them to have this momentum, oh boy, it's very hard. Oh no.
Oh no.
Does Saudi make it back out?
I think she got back out. I think no.
Oh no, there it is.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to see that from Saudi's POV, struggling to try and get back up.
Yeah, I think it kind of flew under the catwalk there, unfortunately. But yeah, like you were saying, you give Chaotic momentum and you give Chaotic space, they're going to use up every inch of it, and they are showing you that here. I mean, they are already back in spawn right now, as somebody is just riding cart there in the back. As I mean, the team is just putting on so much pressure. The Hotties don't really have a time to respond. They don't have time to get back to that cart, and I mean, this is about as free of a pass as we've seen for that cart moving to that second point. Big hammer. Oh my God. Pulls, hammer.
Oh
Moira,
my God.
everything came out there all at once. The Hotties are going to get team killed there. My goodness. Chaotic just threw everything at them.
Good Lord, that pulse bomb was absolutely pixel perfect. Got all three with it as they were lying on the floor, and all they can do is just lie down and take it. That was unbelievable team play. And it was a great ante in the first place to take out the Rhine, but the Shadow had already come out, so they were already there and on the floor waiting for it. Just unbelievable play.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see the ult combos like that. You don't see a lot of hammer plus pulse bomb combos, but that one worked out to perfection. And then with the Moira there on cleanup crew, and here again, Chaotic just giving no room to breathe for the Hotties, pushing them back into spawn. Bryn on Doomfist. I mean, he's just playing this door and just being an absolute menace. I mean, he's got a whole team right there. He's gonna drop an ult on the spawn. Takes down Saudi J, who's made the swap over to Junker Queen. Unfortunately, not able to get out of the spawn.
Ref, that's illegal.
My goodness, I'm not picking up a couple more eliminations. Jeez. My goodness.
I mean, okay, like
that's tough.
What do you do? Like, you ban out the hog, and then they go onto this Doomfist, and they absolutely ruin your entire team just systematically, one by one. Like, there's no counterplay. You don't even have time to try and do anything against this Doomfist. The combos are so clean, and the fact that the confidence to ult the door and still get Saudi is just, man, that's demoralizing. I don't know what you do.
I think it's okay to cry, you know. It's okay to just sit in the corner and cry for a minute, you know, and just let that sink in and then come out refreshed, right? Like, oh, don't bottle that up. Let's not go into this next round angry about what just happened. Let's just get that emotion out and then refresh.
Yeah.
Because where the Hotties are going to have to come out swinging if they want to have a chance to move on in this. Chaotic did, man. Oh, what?
Yeah, you gotta wipe away those tears and just and give it everything you got here if you're the Hotties. Like, I don't even know. I would love to be able to try and analyze this and say they need to play this pick and this pick. I think you've got two choices. You either just try and ignore the Doom and let the kills happen and then just try and kill other people, or you have to focus and anti-dive the Doom and try and punish them when they go in. But they're playing it so well that I don't even know if you're going to be able to. But let's see what they've got in store.
It's tough. Yeah, there's got to be a lot of team communication to get on a Doom because he's just so bouncy. He can do so much damage and just displace people so easily, especially in the hands of someone like Bren, who's actually already got eliminated on that. So maybe they are going to make that change. However, Bebop swinging the hammer, picks up a couple eliminations. Merc picks up one. Ukami getting an elimination on Goulet as well. Bard goes down. The Hotties holding it in a little bit, but Chaotic Din not giving them much room to breathe, as they are going to push.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. This is a 6v6 game, right? but you have to do so much work to deal with one person. And you have to think about dealing with this Doomfist that the 5 other players are completely free. So there are just too many issues to try and handle here for the Hotties. And this is the kind of game that sometimes you find yourself in Overwatch where there's just too many things for you to try and counter and deal with at once.
Yeah, it is a lot going on in... It is tough to focus on, especially when you have so much mobility coming out of Chaotic, and they're all playing their parts really, really well. You know, and when I say a lot of mobility, you got Merc on the back line with the Tracer just being a thorn in people's sides, just kind of stinging them a little bit, you know, throwing a pulse here and there, a very good pulse here and there. Then you have Bryn bouncing around on everybody. Ukami's bouncing around with teleports, and then you have Bebop, just the center of attention with the big triangle, or big rectangle rather. I know shapes. And it's hard to focus on all of that, all those moving parts at once.
Guys, if anyone has any kind of graphic to show Slevin some shapes, that'd be great. As we see Shell and Bryn already just pushing forward into their spawn, and like, it's a hard game to analyze because I mean it just comes down to execution at this point, and Chaotic are feeling themselves.
Yeah, Chaotic should be feeling themselves because they're playing very, very well right now. Nice shot by Goulet there, takes Bryn out and gets him finally out of the match for just a minute here. And the Hotties showing some signs of life as they're pushing onto the point. They've got it almost capped here. We'll see if they're able to keep it, hang on to it. Oh, big Shatter though, gets down 4 of them. And we're gonna see if he can pick them up. Merc coming in, he picks up a couple eliminations on it. They might have gotten action that they needed out of it as the Hotties are down to Midnight Muse only. Wow, what a great hold and really a comeback for that momentum swing from Chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do when they're cheating with an invisible shatter, to be honest, but they all go down and they you know, I mean, invisible or not, I think they got 4 of them in that. Just incredible work. And the speed at which they follow up on that as well to then take the rest of that team fight off the back of the shatter, even if the Rhine goes down, was just so well played from Chaotic.
Yeah, and like we've said a couple times with Chaotic, I mean, you give them room to snowball and you give them room to play, and they're going to use all of it. And their ability to focus on people that are wounded and really just kind of cascade down and jump on people that need to be jumped on is something to admire, honestly, because that takes a lot of awareness, game awareness, and communication to get that right. And they are executing it very, very well.
Yeah, and you can see as well, you know, just to note. Oh, God, are you kidding me? Sorry. That just completely derailed my point with just a little casual side swipe from the Mei there. Great shot that We Cheeks on this Bastion as well is just holding ground so well. But I was gonna talk about, you know, we're not even gonna get time. They are just dropping ults left and right, and it's already gone. The game is done. Chaotic look unstoppable right now.
Yeah, Chaotic definitely came to play. It's going to be a very, very interesting next match that we see these guys play in, because they are proving to be very, very difficult to deal with on a multitude of bans and a multitude of heroes.
This is rude showing this, by the way.
Yeah, this is the meanest replay you could have picked. To show right there as Bryn just comes in with Doomfist and just, I mean, we were asking for the Hog ban Hog, get him back on Doom, and then maybe that was a bad decision. Don't listen to us, guys. We don't know what we're talking about. Unless you're
this is our first time playing Overwatch. We don't know.
Really, yeah. We need more Jetpack Cat. I think that's what would win these games. So whoever plays against Chaotic next, if you're worried about it, just bring Jetpack Cat out there and you'll probably take the dub.
Okay, do you know what though, actually? On a serious note, I do think that Jetpack Cat is not a terrible answer, because you can try and isolate that Doomfist. And they do have a lot of mobility, but if you can throw them far enough off the map, you either force out the ultimate or you just get them out of your backline, you know, and pick them up. Or if someone's been sent on, you pick up your teammate before they get killed. So, I mean, there is potential play there.
Yeah, there's always potential play when you're a cat on a flying Roomba. You know, you can do whatever you want. Like, the sky is literally your limit. So look at some of the accolades that last night here. As you see Midnight Muse picking up that Guardian Angel with the most healing in there. Bard, no doubt, picking up the Warlord with almost 14k damage on the across that map, which is very, very nice. Played a few different heroes to get it. I like to see that kind of flexibility, and you don't see a lot of Freya picks here, so kind of interesting to see Freya out there. Weak for Cheeks picking up the ult farmer, dropping a whole 1 ult, which it might be wrong because I feel like it was a lot more than that. But numbers are hard.
Maybe
so,
an ult cedar. Numbers and shapes? Are we struggling with both now?
It was at least 1 ult, maybe more.
Yeah, minimum. 1 minimum. Yeah, very dominant game.
It was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. We'll see if we have an answer for it coming into the next. So guys, that is going to be the end of our semifinals. Our teams are going to take a short break to strategize, and we'll be moving into the Dragonblade Arena League finals here shortly. Nick, we've had some amazing gameplay tonight. What do you think is going to happen in our final matchup?
I think it's going to be Ryan v Ryan, and then who do you want to deal with, the Hog or the Doomfist? Pretty much.
Neither.
I think this is definitely come down to a game of tanks. It feels like in this one between these two teams. So don't forget, everybody, to vote in the poll and support your favorite team as we move into the final 2 teams. And I think both of these teams look really dominant. So I'm looking forward to seeing them go head to head and see who can get the better of it.
Yeah,
it looks like we got some. It looks like we got some new members joining us tonight. Would you mind giving them a quick rundown of what the Dragonblade Arena League 6v6 is?
Yeah, so for everybody joining during our short break here, welcome to the Dragonblade Arena League 6v6 edition. My name is Slevin. I'm your play-by-play caster this evening. And in the booth with me today is my co-caster and game analyst, Simply Nickish. Now, if you're new here, the Dragonblade Arena League is a single elimination league. Our teams tonight will battle across pre-selected maps. So before we get into the match, let's quickly recap the map pool and the scoring system one last time. For the maps in tonight's tournament, we have pre-selected 9 of the most popular Overwatch maps, 3 per game mode, and they are voted on by our competitors as they progress through their matches. The first map is going to be the control game mode, and that will be decided by a coin toss. The second map will be the hybrid game mode, and that is decided by the losing team of the first map. For our tiebreaker, if we go to a third map, that will be the flashpoint game mode, and it will also be the same applies. It will be decided by the loser of the second map. Oh, before we start setting up the final match, I would like to take a second to thank our incredible staff here at KTN, guys. These tournaments are literally not possible without them. There's a lot of people going on behind the scenes, doing work, putting up scores, overlays, managing the stream and the production and everything. So to everyone in chat, make sure that you show our staff team, ambassadors, and our KTN partners some support in the panels. It takes a lot of ponies to make this wagon roll. So definitely give them some props in chat, guys. And to those of you guys interested in competing in future tournaments or leagues, make sure that you head over to our website, kicktournamentnetwork.com. There you can find all of our socials, the event scoreboard, KTN merch, and our upcoming tournaments. Also, make sure that you join our Discord where you can vote in future tournaments. I do want to highlight that anybody of any skill is allowed to participate in our tournaments, no matter what game is. We don't have anything where we need to have a certain MMR or a certain skill or a certain rank to play. Everybody's allowed to play. So if you see one that strikes your fancy, be sure to sign up. We'd love to see you come out and compete. Nick, will you just go in and do a quick update on scoring for people that may just be joining us?
Yes, I can. Scoring in the Dragonblade Arena League is based on the integrated systems of the game mode control, hybrid, and flashpoint. Teams earn points through a match format where they compete in a series of 3 maps, and each map win contributes to a team's overall score. A team must score 2 points in order to be declared the winner of that matchup, so in essence, a best of 3. While we give our competitors time to set up for the final matchup, we're going to take a quick break and do some math and shape homework. So don't go anywhere. KTN will be right back.
Which one's your favorite? Mine's Tracer. She's like, cheers, love, the cavalry's here.
Before me, I see the future.
You know there's more out there.
don't you?
Even the best journeys end. But a new one is right around the corner.
She's totally ready for this huge grab with the anti over the top, though. Forehead just drops down off the back of it, gets the triple. Look at his positioning, though.
Oh,
It's a crazy positioning.
Room to kind of push in and close in on the point. A nice dragon comes across. Oh, picks up 3 eliminations on it. Massive dragon by Huazar, and then able to take out Kimchi before the res goes off. Games get won because simply of a Genji. Oh, there's that play of the game. Benji with the triple knockoff right there, and then picking up. So the Hotties back at full strength. Bard gonna try to ult, get some damage off, and follows it up with elimination. Able to take out 3 here. We see just shoveling them back towards their spawn. Nighty Dog comes off though. He's got the blade. He picks up a couple eliminations. Well, Suzu Train goes down. Nice job, and then we're gonna demech. Oh my gosh, Benji popping off. Don't challenge him. Don't challenge him. Leave him alone.
Who dares confront me?
A new day is upon us. A new generation built to fight. Together, we are unstoppable. Are you ready?
Slay. Stronghold. Killing spree.
Claim the enemy flag. Return it to base. Ordnance drop inbound. The flag is ours. Please haul ass at your earliest convenience.
It is time to crown the champion of the Dragonblade Arena League 6v6 edition. It's finals time, everyone. Coming to you live exclusively on kick.com. The viewers are hyped, the players are ready, and now they play for it all. Strength Bard gonna try to ult, get some damage off, and follows it up with elimination, able to take out 3 here.
Huge grab with the anti over the top, though. Forehead just drops down off the back of it, gets the triple. Look at his positioning, though.
Oh, behind!
It's a crazy positioning.
Comes in, Riptide. Pushing people back. PBS Kids taking a lot of damage there. Suzu Train goes down. Nice job. And then we're going to demech. Oh my gosh, Benji popping off. Don't challenge him. Don't challenge him. Leave him alone.
Welcome back to the Kick Tournament Network. My name is Simply Nickish, and I will be your game analyst caster this evening. And joining me in the booth is the one and only Slevin.
Hello.
We are going to be launching right into the Dragonblade Arena 6v6 edition grand finals between High Anxiety and Chaotic Den. Both of these teams looking incredibly strong so far. So what are we expecting for this one?
I think it's going to be a good match. Both of these teams in the match that we saw them in, I mean, High Anxiety only played the one match, and they were very authoritative in it. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of struggle for them there. They won it pretty handedly. We've seen Chaotic Den play in a couple matches now, so maybe that extra warm-up time will do them some good. But they have also, you know, been a very convincing winners in their two matches too. So we'll see. We got the two titans of the tournament going together in the finals, which is what you love to see. That's how you hope it always ends up. And I think we're gonna get some good action here.
Yeah, I think what all of us are hoping for is we're hoping for just a good, solid back and forth. You know, we've had quite a few stomps today, and these are the two teams that have been delivering it to others. So let's see if they can battle head to head, as we already see some spice with Forehead Kiss rocking on that Genji.
Yeah, we're immediately into this team fight here. Our first map is obviously going to be Lijiang Chaotic and Zarya and High Anxiety and Doomfist, and Bryn very, very comfortable off of Doomfist as well, so I don't think that's going to stop them very much, but we'll see how this goes. As our first eliminations come in, High Anxiety taking a couple losses there early, but we threw a little ante down on Nutmeg, had to make him back off as he was putting a little bit of pressure on Chaotic.
Yeah, and just in chat, if you guys want to just count along with how many map kills there are in this one, as we've seen that be pretty prevalent. But here they go, Granite and Cute PP getting some kills. Bryn trying to trade out. Weak coming back in with that Bastion as well for Chaotic, but it's trades all around, and it looks like High Anxiety using that Diva mobility to get the better of it and take that first fight.
Yeah, we haven't seen Cute throw up on a tank yet. They were playing Mei pretty much their entire last match, and I mean, doing really well with Mei, but it looks like they're a multi-support or multi-role hero here. So nice plays by them on Diva to really set the groundwork here. And now, I mean, Chaotic's got an uphill battle.
Granite he was just kneeled down waiting to boop someone off, but Nutmeg with a fire strike already takes out Shell. And we talked about the Ram a little bit earlier, and it looks like they are agreeing on Chaotic turning to that Ram to try and deal with not just the Diva, but this Rhine front shield.
Yeah, a little back cap action trying to come here, and then Nutmeg just with the charge, able to take down Weak for Cheeks. Oh man, just kind of got caught up in that one, and then we're just swinging the hammer. Bebop goes down, Pepper goes down. High Anxiety playing a very, very strong defense right now. His Forehead Kiss is going to jump on the back line, trying to take down the Squish. He's going to throw the ult up, gets down Mert, gets down Ukami. Going to keep it going. Oh, not able to do it, as overextends a little bit and pays the price for it. But I mean, definitely stalled Chaotic quite a bit there with that ult.
Yeah, we say overextended a little bit. I mean, they were in their spawn.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. But does get a couple of great kills as well and backs him up. But here goes the Hog, dropping that ultimate, trying to push everybody back. Gets Nutmeg, which is a big kill. Cheeks, though, gets traded out. And here comes the hooks. Bryn is showing up, wanting to say, hey, we can contest this. I am on this Hog. You needed to ban my Doom, and the hook goes out. But Diva can, of course, fly to keep themselves off, and surprisingly no map kills from what I've seen yet.
Yeah, very intelligent play by Chaotic for Pepper to boost Bryn going into that fight, and with the Ana nano boost there, and just making him all that more deadly, and then really capitalizing on it. So very well done for Chaotic, coming up with an answer here. Now we'll see if High Anxiety can answer back and make something happen.
See you later, Bob.
Team fight on there. Oh yeah, Bob gets sent out, and take it for granted says not today. Just boops him right off the map. Nutmeg goes down. Weak able to take down Velvet, as Chaotic really pushing forward here with a lot of aggression.
Yeah, now, I mean, Shell has no fear when they're in that Ram. I'm quite happy to chase everybody down, and Apparently, Bob did not see the edge of that bridge and just sent themselves flying. Sully does have the sights. Already gets one pick without it. Probably looking to pop and go here, I would imagine. Bryn takes Granite off the map as well, so it is traded. It's great anti.
Man, lots going on. Point Nutmeg swinging, but Hog just staying alive. Bryn health inching down, finally able to take him out. Oh, Forehead Kiss avoiding the first map death there. I was, you know, I wasn't hoping for it, but I thought maybe that would be it. But jumping back into the backline again and just really trying to cast some stagger here on Chaotic, and it looks like able to accomplish that a little bit and secure the objective. Man, High Anxiety coming out to play, taking the first point of this map.
Yeah, coming out swinging in map number 1. And this is going to put Chaotic, I mean, this is the first time really Chaotic's been tested, to be honest, today. So this is going to be really interesting to see how they look to now adapt and change. And boy, oh boy, we maybe get to see Bryn on something you were asking for right at the start, a little bit of Winton, if they stick with it.
Yes. I love me some monkey action in here. Let's get in there, jump around, drop shield domes, and just zap people and just be really, really annoying, really. And I mean, show me the banana on your side of your gun too, you know, if we're gonna really go out that way.
But yeah, but
I'd love to see a
very
monkey
interesting
pick.
to see the switches. Yeah, and I'm gonna call them Primarch. Primarch going onto the Sojourn as well. Sojourn is still a very, very strong champion and DPS in general. Can just put so much pressure with that high mobility as well. So I would expect Bryn and Primarch to kind of work together with this kind of duo. Use that high mobility really across the board, apart from maybe the Mauga, to kind of try and play around High Anxiety a bit more and chase around this Genji a bit more.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to capitalize on some of these switches here. Oh, Forehead Kiss goes down immediately. Cheeks there. And that is going to be a tough loss for High Anxiety. Not as much back poke. Sully goes down. Nutmeg goes down. Woo! Chaotic is absolutely snowballing right now, which they have shown us time and time again. If you give them a chance to do it, they will absolutely collapse on you. And you see it here in that first team fight as Chaotic pretty handedly takes over the point.
Pepper. I was not aware of your game. Good Lord, that's a great first purge. Just nading for all they're worth and gets that first fight very cleanly, actually. And again, it's all about getting these first picks as Shell is so low. Is about to stay alive, but Velvet finishes them off. It's a big first kill. Can they snowball the other way off the back of it with Velvet Panther? As Weak Cheeks on this junk is so annoying. And they do eventually go down to cute DB.
Yes, yeah. Unfortunately got caught in a weird spot there, able to take advantage of the positioning error, and High Anxiety pushing back, an answer for it. Chaotic only picked up 35%, and right before High Anxiety answered, and they're jumping back in. Lots of eliminations going both ways, honestly. A pretty even team fight here as Nutmeg goes down. It's all up to the DPS and one support for Anxiety, and Chaotic might be able to take it. We'll see. There's a lot of Winston action going on here, lots of zapping.
Velvet is holding it down, though. Maybe a bit over exertion with the ultimate, maybe not needed. But they were just a little worried about trying to hold on. But they do hold on. Forehead chases them out, gets Bryn, which is a big pickup on that Winston. They do trade out their life for it, but they can get back in. As High Anxiety holding the front side and keeping the percentage, all importantly, going in their favor.
Yeah, the ult may not have been totally necessary to keep it, but I mean, High Anxiety still has great ult economy. They're about to have 5 ults up anyway, so I don't think it's going to be something that they're going to regret here. Weak Cheeks popping his, taking down Lucio there. Forehead comes in with a couple stuff. We got some Diva Bomb going off. We got all sorts of things going off. Everybody is pressing the win button as Forehead Kiss jumps in with the Genji ult, able to take down Pepper and Merc, and the team snowballs in and takes down everybody else. Man, High Anxiety used 3 ults there against 2, and
but they've still got a couple in the tank here. You know,
I know
they've still got the beats, they've still got sights as well. Both very, very powerful ultimates to play off the back here. There's a nano ready. Bryn can go big boy and start punching for their life if they want to, but look at them holding this front side. And he's already so low. Britty's going to have to back off. He pops it to give themselves the extra HP and get them onto the point. Try and bring the team in behind him. The Sanctuary is down, though, from the Mizuki, trying to keep High Anxiety in. And there goes Sully on the backside, keeping the rest of them pushed back with the sights to get 2. Forehead following up, and High Anxiety not letting them get anywhere near it, pushing them back. And that takes first map pretty cleanly.
Yeah, good back and forth. We knew this was going to be an all-out brawl here. You can see Bryn got play of the game on Hog just being a menace. But yeah, an all-out brawl. High Anxiety showing that once they get established and they can hold a little bit of the ground, it is tough to take it away from them. And this was that play we were talking about earlier where Pepper threw the nano into Bryn and they just went in whole hog, literally whole hog. It dominated that center position there. Unfortunately, not enough to win them that round. But we are going to move on to another map here as High Anxiety for the first time has put Chaotic at a loss.
On the back foot, yeah. And I think what's really interesting about that is we've seen Chaotic be really dominant when they get to snowball forward. So when they get to be the aggressors, they get the first pick and they can snowball off the back of it. When they're on the back foot and they've got to play the defensive, suddenly they don't really have the same level of coordination that they showed when pressing the W key. And I think that's probably because they're using those keyboards where the S key was taken off. So they don't really know how to back up, you know? So really great holding from High Anxiety as well to force them into that situation.
Yeah. We're showing that both teams are capable of offense. Both teams are capable of defense. This next map is going to be push, and there's going to be a whole lot of offense and defense there. So we'll see, or hybrid rather. So we will see how this goes with that. I mean,
they
both
go
teams.
To King's Row again?
Yeah,
that's
it could.
The question.
It could.
We've seen them be so dominant on it, especially on that attack side. So I would imagine that we're probably going to go to King's Row here, especially because Chaotic Den have the choice, right? They're the ones that get to choose, being the losers for this one. And, you know, we saw them get 5 minutes on the clock, you know.
Yeah.
But I think both times, like 4 to 5 minutes on King's Row when they were on the attacks. So I would be very surprised if they didn't. We could also see Eichenwald as well. If they want to throw a little spice, let's throw out some Hollywood, y'all. Let's go for one we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, King's Row seems definitely be a fan favorite for teams picking something that they're comfortable with. Here's a little replay of a game that happened earlier. This is Sadi J on Ramatra just slanging fists out here, knocking people down. Sadi J is also a KTN ambassador, so definitely go show her some love.
Yeah, we're just showing off our ambassadors, really, is what happened there. Yeah.
Well, look at some of the accolades that were acquired from the last match here as Nutmeg picking up the Warlord. That means most damage done, I believe, on these heroes. And Velvet ult farming with two big ults. I don't know if that number's accurate, but for whatever reason, our ultimate counter, just take everything that we say for the ultimate counter and double it at least. And then cute here with
and then the smallest diva you've ever seen.
Yes, just diva.jpg. Diva.jpg here picking up almost 12k damage. So love to see that.
As you can see, we're having a great time over here. We hope you guys are enjoying the tournament as well. We've had some great games, and hopefully we get some more moving forward into. We don't know what the map is yet, so I think we're still waiting for them to get into. Oh, it is King's Row apparently. So we are going back to King's Row. Yeah.
Just got word.
Yeah, just hearing from the voices above. Yeah, we are going to King's Row. There we go.
On. Yeah. Oh, here we are loaded. King's Row, guys, this is going to be. I mean, this is going to be a fun one. Chaotic has very, very, very comfortable on this map, and did High Anxiety? Did they play Buchenwald or did they play King's Row as well? I don't remember that far back.
That's a great question, but more importantly, look at what Pepper's giving us.
Oh, Pepper, my hero, my one and only, coming in with the Jetpack Cat. Our first showing. If this is just a pre-lobby pick and they're going to change right before we goes, my disappointment will be immeasurable and my day is actually ruined now.
Oh, Pepper, come on. Come on.
As I say it, just ruins everything. Oh my goodness. Wow. Bebop goes down
Already
almost
straight in.
immediately in that first fight there. High Anxiety, you know, they're coming out fully charged apparently on this defense as Weak Cheeks also goes down. High Anxiety, man, putting up a really, really good defense so far. Very, very early in the round. I mean, we're in the first 30 seconds still, already 2 eliminations. Usually there's a little more back and forth here on this, but Bryn gonna hop around on that Doomfist, see if he can get on that back line and isolate somebody, which we've seen him be so good at so far. See if he's able to capitalize on that positioning there.
Yeah, it's extremely explosive. But I really love Forehead going to the Zarya here. I think the Zarya is a pretty good answer as long as you're playing it correctly into the Doomfist. When the Doomfist goes for a dive, you use the bubble. You know, get a bunch of free bubble charge, protect your supports, and make that Doomfist waste as much as they can while they try to get in. And we see that being punished right on cue. Yes, I love it when that happens. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a great
psychic. And the team fight keeps going on. Chaotic Man pushing in. Bebop switches over to Hazard, actually. We haven't seen any that play so far, so we'll see if that makes the difference they need here as Chaotic, you know, not usually having to switch things up here, but they're trying to make some changes to make things work.
Yeah, but this Ashe in the backside weak on this DPS is just using this front pressure that the Hazard is causing. I mean, look at this. Hazard Doomfist, like this backline is almost in a different map to try and get away from these two. And the Ashe can just sit there and pick them off with 0 pressure. So it's a really good idea from Chaotic, and it's working perfectly for them.
Yeah, this is not a comp that would accelerate on a lot of maps, but on a map with long lanes like this one here on King's Row, I mean, gives lots of time and lots of area for Ashe to kind of sit up in different positions and shoot those down those long lanes while the tanks are up there just wreaking havoc. Oh my gosh, Merc and Cheeks both popping ults, picking up a few eliminations. The Chaotic coming back with a little bit of an answer here as Big Hammer takes down a couple of nuts, able to capitalize on him as Nutmeg goes down. And just a lot of back and forth, man.
So unfortunate from Nutmeg. It was actually a good idea to try and shatter that, but they just went down as they could have capitalized off the back of it, and so didn't get the cleanup. But lovely from Merc here over the top with that Alarian. Look at the space that Shell is able to make on this Hazard, holding these high ground spaces, forces out the beats as well, just to try and allow them to keep fighting. And they do punish Shell off the back of that isolation with the May wall. And this is where we've seen, well, I mean, we've seen Q already be really good and dominant on this pick for a reason.
Yeah, Bryn sticking in this fight, picking up a couple eliminations, and maybe you're gonna get out of it. Not quite able to get out of it. Nutmeg, absolutely raining headshots right there. My goodness, but Bryn held that down by himself for quite a bit. And you know, tried to make something happen. Unfortunately, the team not able to get back quick enough, so they are staggered just a little bit while they regroup here for this next big team fight. High Anxiety really showing us that they came to play today.
Yeah, and you can see the difference in strats, because like, look at what they're running. They're going for a wombo combo here, High Anxiety, right? They've changed to this Orisa. They've got the grab if they want it. They've got the Blizzard as well. The grab to pin them up to the wall as well. Oh, Pepper just got absolutely deleted. And that was some very targeted hate, I feel like, towards that Anna. Just pins them up to the archway. Quite happy to solo ult them there.
Oh, man.
But yeah, you know, it's this difference between this kind of big wombo combo idea and Chaotic doing this in and out, diving back and forth, you know, with this Doomfist and Hazard.
Yeah, definitely a lot of chaos that they're sowing here, you know, and we've seen that, you know, Chaotic Din is really good at that, and High Anxiety is answering it very well. So good back and forth here. Slowly goes down, Bryn goes down, both teams down one person. May ult goes out, able to get freeze. Looks like Bebop goes down, Pepper goes down. Chaotic on their heels here as High Anxiety unrelenting on the defensive pressure they're putting on.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding so well, and look at how much they're holding onto their ultimates, right? They use the Blizzard, just to, they've got so many zoning tools here. They've got the grab. They've now got the Orisa ult if they need that to zone. There's so many ways to kind of block and stop. And this is a fantastic sanctuary to stop anything coming out from that Alari. And here comes another big circle from the Orisa. They do manage to actually get Shell off the back of it. And again, this big area denial is working so well for them. And it's forcing Chaotic to try and default back onto the tried and tested Hog.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you know, let's go back and go back to basics if we need to, and see if we can't make something happen, because what they're doing right now isn't working well for them. So still have a minute to make something happen, but High Anxiety is showing no signs of letting up here. They are being just as aggressive on defense as they are on offense, and this is really throwing Chaotic for a loop, I think. But Bryn picking up a nice elimination on Forehead Kiss. That's a big elimination going into this team fight. Gives them a nice advantage as taking Zarya away. And then Cute goes down as well. The Mei is gone. That is also another huge pick. The target they are eliminating, or at least focusing right now, are definitely the right ones. And that's going to be it for Nutmeg, as we have a weak on Reaper just coming in and making something happen. Oh, Soldier barely gets away, but nice pushback by Chaotic. Good hero changes.
Yeah, and it shows you the perfect example of, like, you know, as soon as they get that first pick and they can move forward, look at how far ahead they are of the point. They have, they just want a W key. So as soon as they get that first pick, they're so good at this front aggression. So, you know, for High Anxiety, they need to try and quell that, and that's where they get the advantage then. And here goes Sully getting those first couple of picks, and it forces out the beats. The Sanctuary is down as well to keep them held here. And Q back with this Mei. And just this Mei talent, by the way, where they get the mini blizzards, is just outrageous to try and play to as a tank. And we see how much denial that creates. I genuinely think this is one of the strongest picks currently, in my mind, for this reason.
Yeah, just the map control, the ability to isolate people from their team, and I mean, to freeze people with the blizzards, and I mean, and we've seen the aim is good too. I mean, Cute has been hitting icicles all day, so it is a very, very solid pick for High Anxiety, and a very good bounce back. Chaotic built some momentum there late in that round. It had a pretty dominative win on one of those team fights, and then High Anxiety respawned, regrouped, and without much time, and really came back and put up a good defense there to hold them down to just the 1 point. So now we've got Chaotic on defense, which we have seen them be very, very good at, and we'll see if High Anxiety has an answer for them moving into it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time, you know, that Chaotic have really been kind of held up, really. We've seen them mostly just full push without really much contention on King's Row. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they decide to handle the defense. And it looks like they are kind of going for this double front side tank with the Ryan Orisa to try and hold this front pressure. And then the Bastion sat behind to try and take down any defensive shielding, to try and burn down this Ryan in the front line. In fact, you know, both are running this dual tank setup in a mirror.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a mirror match, at least for the tanks here. We'll see how the supports and the DPS. That's really going to make the big difference here. We know that these tanks are very, very capable, so it's the fifth and the sixth man that are making the big differences. Forehead Kiss tries to do something. Oh, pays for it as Weak Cheeks just absolutely blasting with that Bastion turret. Also able to take down Big Sully. Chaotic putting on a nice defensive here early in this round.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen Weak, you know, quietly throughout this tournament be really, really handedly getting these picks time and time again and dominating on this DPS, but we haven't really been highlighting them that much. But my word, have they been putting up numbers, and this Bastion is the perfect pick to do it on. Just send it down, get these grenades out, and put this pressure on these two front tanks.
Lots of back and forth here is Cute. Oh, that's a big loss for High Anxiety here in this next push as Cute goes down. They're not gonna be able to isolate quite as much, so good targeting by Chaotic there to keep them out of it, because I mean, Cute on Mei has been absolutely annoying to deal with, but the beat's gonna drop. They're gonna try to make something of it, and we got almost got the ult off, or did get the ult off, didn't get any eliminations, where the Brick pays for it. Ukami coming in with an elimination as well. Forehead Kiss is out here swinging the hammer, and that is going to put High Anxiety onto the point. We'll see if Chaotic can bounce back and answer before it gets too late.
I mean, it's such a simple strat in principle, and we see it in play there. Press those forward buttons, press the beats, and move up, and just take the fight with that massive, like, shielding and HP advantage. And they do, and they win it, you know, very convincingly to get this first point, and already the payload is moving.
Yeah, they are making some decent progress here as I mean, this is a slug match, right? It's just back and forth. High Anxiety is tending to get the better more often, but back and forth on both sides. I wouldn't say that this is dominative one way or the other, which is what we've seen out of both of these teams coming into this. So this is exactly the kind of match I was hoping for in this finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the big difference here is honestly between this Bastion and Mei. You know, I think this Bastion is now going to struggle on these kind of areas to get the same value that Mei is getting to control these tight corridors and lanes. As we get the shadow, but immediately, I think, was that a javelin stun straight away?
That was a counter shatter.
Got stunned.
That was a counter shatter.
Apologies. It was very fast though.
It was like the same time. They think they had the exact same idea, and it just happened right after one another. And High Anxiety, man, gets toasted right there. And Chaotic holding up another defense, gonna play this corner. Hopefully they can make it work. The Mei wall comes in and block people off a little bit.
Over the top.
We'll see Blizzard over the top. Everybody's frozen. Bebop goes down. We got Cute shooting those icicles up there, trying to get some damage, making sure nobody's gonna come around and flank from the back. And able to put some good damage out there. Man, these Blizzard ults have been very, very well placed.
I mean, in general, I think it's just this area denial that's happening. You know, all of these big circles that stop you being able to push into it. As you see from the other side, Bryn with a nice Orisa ult actually gets Sully. And again, the big circles coming into play. Forehead does get the trade out, though, and gets another one actually on Akami. So look at this Forehead go. As now it's Nutmeg's turn. Gets one. Forehead follows up as well to get Shell. And this, look at just, it's constant. Wow. Big circle ultimates, and already High Anxiety look like they are going to push it all the way. And there we go. They get it to take both games. High Anxiety.
Wow. That was that was very, very well played. This is one of those games where we saw two matches out of Chaotic before going into this. We saw one match out of High Anxiety, and both of them played very, very, very well. And you never know who's going to win when you have, just that little information going in, and all you can expect or all you can hope for is a great match. And I think that is what we got here for sure. So very, very well played. High Anxiety, though, takes the edge and able to pick up those last couple points.
Yeah, I mean, they picked up both games. So, we were maybe hoping for it to go all three. But man, High Anxiety showed up, and great team play. The speed at which they were able to deal with, the Hog, the Doom, all of these picks that Chaotic showed to be so strong. You really need coordination to try and handle those, and the High Anxiety came out in force and made it work.
Yeah, they really did. And I mean, we haven't seen Chaotic have to make too many counter picks here. And every time they did, High Anxiety was ready and waiting for him and just adapted very, very well. So great communication on both teams. Everybody was playing very, very solid Overwatch, and those are always really fun matches to cast. So thank you guys to all the competitors in both teams out there. Look at some of these accolades that got picked up in that last one. You got Cute hitting that Warlord almost, 34 damage on Mei.
Outrageous.
34,000 damage. I just said 34. There was 34,000.
34 damage on Mei.
34 would not have been that impressive.
We know that numbers are hard.
Yes, very, very tough. If anything higher than like 3, I get lost, right? So,
and an actual good ult farmer there, though. 7 ult, the Velvet Panther. An actual genuine ult farmer.
Numbers are working again. Let's go.
Yeah,
and Cute also picking up Executioner with 31 eliminations on top of that 34k damage. So I mean, you know who was making the changes out there and who was kind of leading the pack with some of those stats. And very, just tough fights, you know, and lots of, like you said, the crowd
Scrappy.
control and scrappy fights, lots of blow for blow, the crowd control that High Anxiety was throwing out, and just the zoning that they are throwing out, just being able to do what we saw Chaotic Din do so well in their first couple matches, which is just so chaos, right? Just with the jumping on the back line with the Doomfist and just making everybody kind of scatter and then picking them off one by one. High Anxiety had an answer for that with all the zoning, and they basically did the same thing. And so you love to see that, guys. But that brings us to the end of our tournament, and it is time to crown our victor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have our victor. Congratulations to High Anxiety for winning the Dragonblade Arena League 6v6 edition. High Anxiety, congratulations on your victory, and thank you to all of our competitors for participating in tonight's tournament. To our viewers, if you missed a portion of this tournament or would like to rewatch a segment, be sure to check out the VOD, which will be up on our YouTube channel tomorrow. Make sure to join our Discord, follow us on X, and sign up on the website to stay up to date on all future events. Links for all of those are in the channel description down below. And if you want to participate in one of our upcoming tournaments, anyone can sign up. You do not have to be a pro player to participate. You just have to love the game. My name is Slevin. It was a pleasure casting for you all tonight. Simply Nickish, is there anything you would like to say before we sign off for the evening?
Yeah, it's okay to cry. I want to take a moment to thank our producer, Game Masters, the entire KTN staff for making these tournaments possible. I mean, literally, there are so many people behind the scenes here that are doing so much work. So thank you to everyone for helping make this happen. To our competitors, thank you for your performance. It was a pleasure to cast and a pleasure to watch. It was really enjoyable for us, and I hope it was for everyone else as well. Big shout out, obviously, to High Anxiety for winning the whole thing. And to anyone interested in competing in future tournaments or leagues, head on over to our website, KTN, kicktournamentnetwork.com, where you can find all of our socials, the event scoreboard, KTN merch, and any upcoming tournaments. And of course, as we said, anyone of any skill level can participate. To any members who supported with donations and subs, we really, really appreciate the support, and you help make these tournaments happen. I have been and still am Simply Nickish. Thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure, and we hope to see you for the next one. Thanks for watching KTN. Have a great night.